Ladies and gentlemen, to honor our country, a large American flag is being displayed on the field by a group of new United States Army recruits from the greater Orlando area. Basic training and serve our country. They are also joined on the field by the Berkeley High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard. This July, the United States will celebrate a special moment in the history of mankind, the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. Helping us celebrate the launch of our new team, the Orlando Apollos, please welcome Colonel Walter Cunningham, the lunar module pilot of the first manned Apollo mission, Apollo 7. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and honor America and those who protect our freedom. and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the north end of the stadium under the video board and welcome to the field, the Atlanta Legends. The Atlanta Legend head coach is Kevin Coyle.
Hey Americans, 2019 is the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 landing on the moon. And tonight, right here at the bounce house, the Orlando Apollos are about to launch. Let's get loud. In T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engines are running. We have liftoff. Here come the Apollos.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's defensive starters for your Orlando Apollos. The defensive line from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 92, Josh Banks.
We have liftoff. Here come the Apollos.
From Cincinnati, Ohio, number 97, Isaiah Burks Sr. The linebackers from Gainesville, number 59, Earl O'Brien. From Baltimore, Maryland, number 51, Terrence Garvin. From Jacksonville, number 52, Reggie Northrup. From Tampa, number 95, Ryan Davis Sr. The defensive end from Miami, number 29, Keith Reeser. From Dothan, Alabama, number 27, Marquez White.
ready to start a new era of pro football. It's the premiere of the Alliance on CBS as the Orlando Apollos host the Atlanta Legends at Spectrum Stadium here in Orlando, Florida. And hi everyone, welcome to Orlando with 13-year NFL veteran Gary Danielson. I'm Andrew Catalan. Melanie Collins will join us coming up. And Gary, you're no stranger to new football leagues. Got your football card here.
There?
The 1974 World Football League, the New York Stars. Gary has a mustache in this picture. Fast forward to tonight, what are your expectations for the Alliance?
You know, I think when people watch the game, and I went to San Antonio and watched the preseason games, we've been around here, I think they're going to say, wow, these guys aren't good enough to play in the league. Well, most of them are, but they weren't in the right place at the right time, and a league has come along to give them another shot.
And one of the most recognizable faces of the Alliance is the Orlando head coach, Steve Spurrier, now at the age of 73. And Gary, we were at practice on Thursday. Felt like old times.
We go way back. I've been watching him coach. I can't even remember not doing games and not watching Steve Spurrier coach. How lucky this league is to have him and the players in this league. He knows how to coach it, and he's going to throw it just like he always has.
And Orlando quarterback Garrett Gilbert told us that Spurrier is a big reason why he wanted to play for the Apollos.
The old Texas quarterback, SMU quarterback, drafted in the 6th round, really never got that chance to play a lot of meaningful snaps. That's what he's looking for in this game. Give me a chance to play a full game. That's how you earn your next spot in the NFL.
For Atlanta, they had a month-long quarterback competition. Kevin Coyle, the head coach, told us it was very close, but in the end, Matt Sims beats out former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. So Phil Simms' son Matt gets the start tonight.
And he had to be pretty good. We've all seen Aaron play football in the Southeastern Conference around here. Matt earned it. He's 30 years old. They call him Gramps. He's the leader of this football team. He's going to take charge of it. I look for Matt. We go way back to it, his Tennessee days all the way through, to really engineer this team up and down the field.
And Melanie Collins is with Matt Sims.
Well, Matt, all that hard work and preparation finally culminates tonight. It's time to see what this team's made of on the big stage. You seem like a pretty calm, cool, and collected guy, but how would you describe your nerves as we get set for this one?
Hey, I'll take that compliment any day. Being a guy from New Jersey, just want to say hello to everyone home. Really excited for tonight. I know both teams are pumped, so we're looking forward to the opportunity.
You told us yesterday that your teammates call you the grandpa of this team because of all of your experience.
Yes.
What do you hope to bring to this first game tonight as a team captain and with your experience?
You know, hey, just go out there, do my job, take one play at a time, and enjoy the moment.
Enjoy it, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take
Okay.
care, guys.
All right, Melanie, thank you very much. As we get set for the opening coin toss. Our referee tonight is John O'Neill.
Gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural season of the Alliance of American Football, opening night. My name is John O'Neill. I'll be your referee. This is Mr. Tab Slaughter. He'll be your umpire, okay? Atlanta, you are the visitors, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to flip this special coin. The Orlando logo is on one side. That side will serve as the heads. The Alliance logo is on the other side. That side will serve as the tails. Now remember, the winner of the toss has one of 3 options. Offense, defense, or which end of the field we're going to play on, okay? Gentlemen, with us tonight is Mr. Buddy Dyer, the mayor of Orlando, who is going to flip the coin for us. Atlanta, you're the visitor. What's your call?
Tails.
Tails is the call. Mr. Mayor.
Call by Atlanta. Buddy Dyer. Yeah, that's right.
It is a heads. Orlando, you've won the toss.
I'll take the ball. Gary Gilbert.
Which end of the field would you like to play at?
We're defending this end zone.
You're defending that end zone?
I'm tuned in. Hey,
Orlando will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 at the north 25-yard line.
What a shock. Steve Spurrier wants the football first. And now bringing out the football to get this game going is Walter Cunningham, who was a pilot on the Apollo 7 mission back in 1968. He's delivering the game ball again. A lot of the NFL rules will carry over to the Alliance, but this is one difference. There are no kickoffs And so the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line to start the game. Also, no extra points. You have to go for 2. Since there's no kickoffs, there's an onside conversion, which is a 4th and 12 from your own 28-yard line if it comes after a touchdown. And there are some defensive limitations. Only a 5-man rush is allowed for the most part.
And I think it's understandable, the 5-man rush. I mean, the hardest thing to get going is an offensive line. No offseason program. This kind of evens it up. You can bring 5 guys from different areas. It'll still be a challenge, but they can't overload the quarterback.
And one of the things that we took away from meeting with both teams is that as the season goes on, things will evolve. People will figure out more strategy. The teams will come together. Keep in mind, they've been together for a training camp in San Antonio for 1 month. Hard to put a football team together in a month. But credit to these coaches. They have done a great job getting everyone ready for tonight.
Yeah, and I think what Bill Polian said on the pregame show, bringing in these NFL coaches with a lot of experience, they kind of took the NFL format in the practices and got their guys ready to play in this football game.
So the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line. Teams are huddling on their sideline. There is some light rain falling here at Spectrum Stadium, but we are ready for football. The premiere of the Alliance on CBS.
.34 max, Steeler, ready? Hey, I'm under.
Garrett Gilbert, the quarterback for the Apollos, a first-round pick in the AAF quarterback draft, number 7 overall. Akeem Hunt, the starting running back, and on first down, Gilbert taking a deep shot, going for the home run right away, and it's incomplete. Looking for Marvin Bracey Williams.
Well, it was a little bit of Steve Spurrier trademark. They call it touchdown or check down, and this time he went for the touchdown. Gilbert, when I saw him yesterday when we talked to him, I was struck by how composed he seemed. He'd been to a lot of camps, actually ran out of time to be on any practice squads in the NFL. For him now, he either makes first or second team NFL or he can't play in the league.
Green 10!
Back to the air on 2nd and 10. Gilbert, touch pass, and it's dropped by the running back, Akeem Hunt, coming out of the backfield, and he could not hold on.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a very good ball by Gilbert that time. You got to shoot it. He's throwing it into the wind here, got up in the air and kind of died. Could have been caught. You're right, Andrew, but he had him for a big play. He needed to shoot that ball. He kind of threw it up in the air too high and lobbed it to him.
We met with Atlanta linebacker Jeff Luke yesterday. He said, I don't think they're going to run the football much.
Yeah.
Not with Steve Spurrier on the other sideline.
He must have watched some Florida games.
Yeah, that's right.
Green 10!
3rd and 10. Gilbert pump fakes, now throws sideline, incomplete. Was looking for the tight end Scott Orndorff, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Apollos. A 22nd drive.
If you notice the pacing, it's just a 5-second difference in the play clock from 40 to 35, but you can feel it watching the game how much faster these plays are hitting in play after play.
Irvin Phillips is the deep man for the Legends, and the punter for Orlando is Ben Turk. Played collegiately at Notre Dame. Good punt. Phillips will let it bounce around the 30 and takes an Orlando hop inside the 20-yard line and down at the 18. A 57-yard boot for Ben Turk.
That ball rolls dead at the 18-yard line.
So we'll get our first glimpse of the Atlanta offense. And as we told you, it was Matt Sims winning the quarterback competition in the preseason against former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. Sims, a 2nd-round pick in the inaugural AAF quarterback draft. Played 4 games for the Jets, 2013 to 2014.
You know, when we met with him yesterday, you know, the feeling I got, he was ticked off. He thinks he's good enough to be an NFL quarterback, and he can't figure out why he isn't.
On first down, Tarian Folston across the 20 and down at the 21-yard line. Yeah, he told us that he had a workout which was publicized with the San Francisco 49ers mid-season. Didn't get the call. They went with Tom Savage for a few weeks, and that was disappointing for Sims. And he was considering transitioning to the next phase of his life, coaching, teaching, instructing.
I thought you were going to say announcing.
No, not yet.
Simms' name's a lot of
Yeah, that's true, yeah. We've already got one of those at CBS.
And I've seen another one on the air somewhere else,
yeah,
too.
somewhere else. Of course, the son of Super Bowl MVP Phil Simms. Play clock at 1. And they don't get it off. And Gary, that's one of the big rule changes.
Well, early in this
5-yard penalty, still second down.
Matt Simms did not get the play. You looked at him walked halfway to the sideline to get a clearer call on the play. And he said to us yesterday, you know what I was most proud of in that the preseason games or practice games in San Antonio is we did not have one delay a game. So here on the opening drive already for real, he gets
instead of a 40-second play clock, there's a 35-second play clock in the Alliance. Simms whips one. Nice catch. Shontavious Jones.
Hey, here we go. Good coverage, better throw. That always happens. You can cover as good as you want. I mean, we see it at every level, high school, college, at the big level. If you throw that kind of ball, you're going to beat any coverage.
Now, depth charts are fluid, but Orlando is really banged up in the secondary. They have 4 defensive backs who are unable to play tonight due to injury, so there's not a lot of rotation we'll see in the backfield.
And all 4 of them are listed as a cornerback, so that means the safeties are going to have to slide down. You know, the quarterback, Matt Simms, has a microphone in his helmet. For the second time, though, he had to go over to the sideline to get the play call, didn't have enough time, and had to take a timeout.
Nothing? No.
Like that nugget?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
I know.
Hey, we're going to go track right, 3-jet rattler, Sally chip.
Track right?
Track left, 2-jet rattler, Harry chip.
Okay.
Many of the players wearing microphones, so we have the benefit of listening in.
Here we go. Tighten up. On the field.
That was Rich Bartell, the offensive coordinator for the Legends, telling Matt the play. And obviously, in my trained experience there, that sounded like a pass play to me. Many years. Even when I had a mustache in this thing.
That's a great picture. It's 3rd down and 4. Simms in the shotgun. Dumps it to Folston. Folston trying to get to the outside, and it looks like he's got just enough for a first down. Dragged out by Leon Orr.
We got it.
I thought Chase Ferris, number 75, got a big block on the play. A little bit of a screen pass to the outside. Watch him come out, 75, and then right at the point of attack, make the key block to get the first down on the play.
Just got enough to move the chains.
So they had to delay a game, and they had to take a timeout, but they still got the first down. And, you know, no one really knows. Neither staff or the quarterback really knows, is it going to be a high-scoring game, low-scoring game? It's all feel right now.
Folston on the carry and gets a yard. Terrence Garvin and Leon Orr combine on the tackle for the Apollos. I thought it was interesting what Atlanta head coach Kevin Coyle told us. He thought that this league is going to come down to coaching.
Yeah.
He feels that the talent levels on all 8 teams are very similar. Whoever coaches the best, whoever makes the most adjustments, certainly in game, will have the best chance to win.
And I think he's also referring to, as the season goes along, too, how you use the rules to your advantage will also be part of it.
Back to Folston, and he is cut down for a loss. It's Reggie Northrup getting in the backfield, the linebacker out of Florida State.
And if you talk to the Apollo team from top to bottom, even though this is a Steve Spurrier team, they feel the strength of their team is going to be their defense, their front 3 or 4, and their speed at linebacker, and you saw it right there.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up another 3rd down for the Legends. 3rd and 10. Some movement on the line and now penalty marker.
And I think it's going to be drawn off, and I think it's going to be against the Apollos on this one. They were in the neutral zone, and then there was a reaction by the Legends.
John O'Neill, the referee.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 59. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And it's on Earl O'Kine, who was listed as doubtful on the injury report because of a hamstring, limited at practice Thursday and Friday, but decided to give it a go here tonight in the opener.
Yeah, and Earl has played for about every league there ever was.
You're right.
Calgary Stampeders, played for the Brooklyn Bolts. I mean, there's teams in leagues I never heard of, and he has tried to play for.
So now 3rd down and 5 after the penalty. And I think the left tackle, Genesee, moved early.
Ball start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, they caught on the right tackle, John Kling. But Genesee on the other side moved as well.
Yeah, was it this one or this one? We'll find out. Yeah, it was left tackle. You had it right, although both of them kind of. And this is exactly, I think, why, as a coaching staff, you're saying that my quarterback, the team that makes the least mistakes, can win the football game, where coaching is going to play a big part of the game. Just don't beat yourself might be the way to win the game.
So back to 3rd and 10. Sims, good protection. Now in trouble, chased out to the left. Throws on the run along the sideline. Shontavious Jones, are they going to give him the catch? They are. What a grab.
I mean, Jones was wide open when Sims got out of the pocket. He looked downfield, and no one's got him. Let's see if he gets it in. He called his toes down. It were only 2 challenges in the game, and that would not be one you'd want to risk a challenge on.
A 24-yard pickup. And here's Denard Robinson, star at Michigan, 4 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a member of this Legends roster and someone to keep an eye on tonight.
Yeah, and Ryan Davis will be like a half defensive end, half linebacker, and the way Denard can catch the ball out of the backfield and be a running attack, that's a matchup we want to keep our eye on. That front of the Apollos has to make an impact. So far, the worrisome part of the Legends, whether they could pass block, has come up okay.
Former Jaguars teammates, Robinson and Ryan Davis. Sims over the middle, it's caught for a 1st down. Bug Howard cut down by Keith Reeser, but a 17-yard gain.
Yeah, and he goes off limping a bit right now, but Bug, this is kind of a delay, and he's going to cross right across the screen. Bug, kind of a hybrid, wide receiver, tight end thing, and then you just give him the ball.
Good job, good job, good job.
Matt Sims wearing a microphone. He's happy he's 4 out of 4 for 53 yards on this drive. 9th play of the drive coming up with 8.5 to go in the opening quarter. It's a handoff to Robinson. Hit hard as Isaiah Brooks came in to level the hit.
Set the edge, turn it back in, and make the play. At any level, you got to do that. I think O'Kine, number 59, is the guy. They could not get the stretch play outside of him, and that's why the play was a loss of 1.
Denard Robinson out of football since his rookie contract came up after the 2016 season. Trying to get back for one more chance at the NFL. Hand off to Folston. Nice reverse at the line. Lowers his shoulder and is tackled a yard shy of a 1st down by Will Hill.
Well, that was a great read that time by Folston. The defensive end crashed, forced the tackle to kind of just hang on without a call by Kling that time, number 70, and then Folston reads it and breaks it outside. Nice drive.
That brings up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, and you wonder if this is a 2-down call right here. Knowing that you could also go for it on 4th if you don't make it.
Sims himself, and he's got the 1st down. Now, you mentioned it before, the offensive lineman called him Grandpa. He's 30 years old, one of the oldest in the league, and moves the chains with his legs.
You know, the other thing is he came in a little bit ticked, confident, but also what, surprised me is a man. You know, I saw him as a young freshman, sophomore at Tennessee when I was doing those games. He walked in, he's a 30-year-old man now, and he's strong, confident, and almost controlling the room.
He had a lot of input on this offensive system as well. Steps up on the run, tosses to the end zone, incomplete. Over the head of Malachi Jones.
Sims pass intended for
Jerome
Malachi
Copeland had the
Jones falls
coverage for the
incomplete.
Apollos in the secondary. Malachi Jones, a Roswell, Georgia native, paired up now with the Atlanta Legends. And it's 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10 from the 20.
And Buck Howard's back in that spot, in a little slant, that tight end spot of the H spot, that he can make a lot of plays.
Sims looking end zone again, incomplete.
Got him.
Off the hands of Shontavious Jones, and it's 3rd down.
It was a good throw, but it needed to be a great
Sims
throw.
pass
Had
intended
to
for
be
number
there.
15,
There was about a
Shontavious
yard
Jones
circle that
falls
ball had to
incomplete.
be in there. Good throw. Needed to be a half a yard shorter than that. 3 for 3 so far on this drive. The Legends are on 3rd down. Let's see if they can do it again.
Apollos fans in his
The 14th play of the drive. Some light rain falling, 3rd and 10. Sims, play fake, fires incomplete. There's some contact on the play as
intended for number 15,
the receiver Shontavious Jones could not
incomplete.
get separation. It's 4th down, and out comes the kicker for Atlanta, Younghoe Koo, to attempt a field goal.
And remember, it's downwind. We talked about throwing the other direction on the first series for the Apollos. This will be with the wind. Is what, 38-yarder?
38 yards for Koo, who some may remember from 2017 with the LA Chargers. He was their kicker to start the season, but let go after 4 games. This one is on target and good, and those are the first points in Alliance history. A 38-yard field goal by Younghoe Koo, and the Legends lead it 3-0.
The score, the Atlanta Legends 3, your Apollos nothing.
The second ball fish.
.6:10 to go, opening quarter. The Legends jump out to a 3-0 lead. Our Skycam is brought to you tonight by Wheels Up. Remember, no kickoff, so the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line. Whistle is blown. Here we go.
Remember the last time on 1st down they went deep, kind of ended the series after the first play. Let's see if they try to pick up a little bit of yards and try to control the chains here on this drive. Yep.
And it started on the ground with Akeem Hunt. He is spun back. And it was Jeff Luke and Tyson Graham on the tackle.
Tyson Graham is that safety coming down into that box quickly, reading it and making the play. When those safeties can get down in there, responsible for pass and be able to make plays with the run at the same time, that's the value of that safety position.
4 plays, no yards so far for Orlando. On a play fake, Gilbert trying to set up the screen, not there, and incomplete.
Yeah, read by 2 Legend defenders on the play. They did a great job that time, and I wonder if they're going to call for holding on that play.
Tracy Sprinkle, the defensive tackle, was applying the pressure.
Holding. Defense number 93.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Yeah, I thought T.J. Barnes was in on that play. He read it so quickly, but he reacted and held, and the play wasn't there, and he's going to pick up the penalty and the automatic 1st down. I see him how he tackles. It's almost pass interference as he tackles the defender on the play.
That's not a fair fight.
No,
Akeem Hunt is 190 pounds. T.J. Barnes is listed at 380. That's 380.
Nice run.
And Akeem Hunt, though, might not be big, but he's got some speed, and he picks up a 1st down, a gain of 11.
Well, Akeem Hunt, the former Boilermaker right there. I knew I'd have to get that in right there, the Purdue guy. Caught a lot of passes for the Boilers, a 3-year player in the NFL, and played for the Boilers between 11 and 2015. That was very quick, very good play. I think the surprise to me so far, the offensive lines are holding their own in this game.
Great point. 1st and 10. Gilbert.
Plenty of time.
And completes it. Another first down for Orlando. Jalen Marshall down the sideline. And they say he stepped out.
Yeah, he stepped out. I think he did.
Tried to tightrope down the sideline. Big play nonetheless for the Apollos. A gain of 16.
But you could see the speed and the explosiveness. Now let's see if he did. He was called out. Yeah, they got him. Good call right there. And remember, as was talked about by, in the pregame by Kurt Warner, everyone is under the microscope. These officials are trying to work their way into the NFL as well, too. Good call there.
1st and 10 from the Atlanta 44-yard line. 27 yards on the last 2 plays for the Apollos. And a whistle.
You have to play a game, right? The clock starts so fast.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Let's go back to that play to Jalen Marshall. That play took a long time for Marshall to cross that formation and that underneath route. Again, give the credit to that offensive line. Because there's not, all these exotic blitzes, the offensive lineman can kind of stand in there, figure out who they got, and show whether they can pass block them or not. I like it. It looks pretty good.
Green 10, green 10.
Gilbert throws across his body, incomplete, intended for the running back Akeem Hunt, who now has had 2 passes thrown at him that he could have caught.
Could have. I thought he slipped on that one, and it's raining here, and it looks like it's raining just a little harder here at the stadium than what you can tell until see how he kind of slips as he's going for the ball. Now, we're being kind to him, but you're right. He could have caught both of them, and Coach Spurrier thinks so, too. You got to catch a dang ball. You got to catch it.
Has not coached since stepping down at South Carolina midway through the 2015 season.
They went with the screen again, and it was snuffed out again.
Gilbert hit hard, ball deflected up in the air and incomplete, and Gilbert took a shot.
Yes. Had the screen call on, and it was read again by the legends, and nowhere to go with the football. I think it was Brandon Watts, number 58, that got in the middle of it this time. Nowhere to go with the football. He reads it out here, and the quarterback is very, very fortunate that this ball didn't land in the defensive arms.
Keyshawn Freeman got a hand on it for the Legends, and it brings up 3rd down and long.
Green 10.
5-man rush.
Gilbert takes another shot, throws it down the sideline, incomplete. And Gilbert is still on his back.
Yeah, that's the first time that the defense, either defense, decided to blitz the quarterback, and it worked. Gilbert could feel the pressure coming around the corner. Big number 92, Freeman, got right in his face. Good coverage downfield. But you only need sometimes one extra guy, and that one extra guy puts the pressure on him.
Gilbert has dropped back 7 times and been pressured 6 of the 7. And another punt for Ben Turk, his 2nd of the quarter. It's a short kick.
See if he gets a roll again. Not this time.
And down at the 16-yard line, 3:21 to go. Legends 3, Apollos nothing on CBS.
At the 16-yard line.
Nothing Atlanta over Orlando. Tomorrow on CBS, don't miss once-in-a-lifetime performances by Cardi B, Dolly Parton, Diana Ross, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Lady Gaga, and more. It's live on the Grammy Awards tomorrow at 8/7 Central, only CBS. With Gary Danielson, Melanie Collins, our director Suzanne Smith, producer Jonathan Siegel, our entire CBS crew. I'm Andrew Catalan. We thank you for joining us. Opening night of the Alliance. Handoff to Folston on first down for the Legends. Tripped up at the 18-yard line by Will Hill, a gain of 3.
Will Hill has been sneaking down into the box right over the middle of the formation on 3 out of the 4 plays. That time on first down, he was right in position. You never have a guy in an offense that's able and assigned to the free safety that's sitting there in the box, and he stopped that play.
Will Hill, an interesting story. Some players are getting their first chance. This, as he told us, is his last chance.
And it's his 10th and last chance, right?
He's been in a lot of trouble. He said he's got to stay out of trouble in order to get another crack at the NFL. 2nd and 7. Sims, deep shot down the sideline, incomplete. He's trying to get it to Seantavius Jones, and the coverage by Marquez White.
And again, the technique for the corner is to try to cut off the receiver. Cut him off without holding him. Perfect job. Again, it would have taken a perfect pass on the play. Atlanta's been very balanced so far in this football game. They've had 16 plays, 8 run and 8 passes. That's what you want to do.
And Sims started 4 out of 4. Since then, 4 straight incompletions, and faced with 3rd and 7. Sims, and it's caught short of the first down by Irvin Phillips. Terrence Garvin had the coverage, and it's 4th and 1.
Now, this might be a new league. It might be a fast league. They might not be kickoffs, but going for it on 4th and 1 from your own 25 is still football, and you're going to punt it.
The punter for Atlanta, Cameron Nizelak, who played collegiately at Georgia.
Yeah.
And the deep man, Marvin Bracy Williams, who did not play college football. It's because he was too busy competing in the Rio Olympics. He's a speedster. Steve Spurrier said he proved to me he can catch. Now I'm going to see him run. He scoops it up here at the 20. And tripped up. Nice play on special teams by the Legends with 1:48 to go. 3-0 in favor of Atlanta.
Return by Marvin Bracy Williams for Orlando.
Go on, 2. Bend it in. Let's go, Jalen. Jalen, get in. Wow.
First Responders Appreciation Night, presented by the Rainbow Family. We would like to ask all veterans and current military and first responders in attendance to stand and be recognized. We want to salute each of you for your dedication, hard work, and
1:48 to go, opening quarter. Been a tough start for Orlando quarterback Garrett Gilbert. He's 1 of 7 for just 16 yards, and Gary's took a number of big hits.
He has, and remember, the first one was a bomb, and 3 of them were screens that were defended on the play, almost throwaways. Right now, the Legend defense has got the old ball coach they've got the advantage. They've been 1 step ahead so far.
Throwing on first down. Gilbert, and Charles Johnson is crushed. Duran Grant with the big hit. A loss of 2.
Grant, a 4th rounder from the Steelers, Ohio State. Plays it in front of him, comes up, makes the hit. That's how you play defense.
With the forward progress, a 2-yard pickup. So 2nd down and 8.
gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
And look at our impact players.
2 Buckeyes.
Grant, yeah, they used to go against each other in Ohio State practice.
Green turn, green turn.
Grant said he expected some friendly trash talk if they were matched up with each other. As Gilbert wide open as Johnson. Flag is down on the play. Johnson with plenty of room to run out towards midfield. They await the call.
They picked. There was a pick on the play, and it was a good call by the referee that time. Just too obvious. If you're going to do that, you got to get in the way,
Illegal
but not
formation.
block.
Defense number 20. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
He did not catch the pick. Watch the pick right here to the player. See, watch him knock him off right there. That's what opens up the crossing route and creates the space. They did not see it. It was an illegal defense on the play, so they add it to the play.
An illegal defense is a 15-yard penalty. So a 23-yard gain with the 15-yard penalty. It's a 38-yard change of field position.
And right now, Scott Orndorff, number 83, is going whoosh. Because I blocked that guy and got away with it.
So the Apollos quickly move into Atlanta territory with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's a handoff to Davion Smith up the middle, across the 30, moving the legs, and about a half-yard shy of a first down. And if they're generous, they'll move the sticks.
Again, good offensive line play. Creating those creases, finding the creases, and making a good positive play. Again, the illegal defense call, remember the rules. You're only allowed to rush 5, and it can't be 2 linebackers together from one side. So it could have been one of those 2 things that made it illegal.
On second down and 1, could be the final play of the quarter. Gilbert looking end zone, nearly intercepted.
Yes.
Desmond Lawrence as time expires in the first. We're through 1 at Spectrum Stadium in Orlando. And the Legends, thanks to a field goal, have a 3-0 lead on the Apollos on CBS. Back on the campus of Central Florida, look at the first quarter numbers. Certainly time of possession sticks out heavily in favor of the Legends. They lead at 3-0, and Melanie Collins is with Orlando safety Will Hill.
Will, through 1 quarter of play, how good does it feel to finally just put all that preparation you've been putting in and just get back on the field?
It feels great, you know. Like I told you before, I've been waiting years, months, seconds, days, and just to be out there now, for it to be starting to feel good, to let off some stress on the field.
What do you feel like is the biggest challenge Atlanta's offense is presenting your defense with?
Their lineup on the ball really quick, but it's nothing too difficult. We just got to play our game, slow down, and talk to each other out there.
All right, well, thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
Will Hill and Matt Sims go way back. They used to play against each other in New Jersey high school state football, met in a couple of championship games. Hill at St. Peter's, Sims at Don Bosco.
1-1, were they?
And 1-1. But Matt was not happy about the loss. Third down and 1. And a handoff to Davion Smith. And it looks like he got just enough to move the sticks.
It also looks like the rain has stopped here now, here in Orlando. Remember, Orlando has that wind behind them. Let's see if they... Now, Steve Spurrier, who has a great reputation, Steve does, for engineering these red zone type plays. When he gets to the 25-yard line, he starts thinking, how can I get my receivers matched up one-on-one for those touchdowns? Is he the split he wants? It's got to be a pass what he wants, right?
There's the throw. Gilbert, end zone, caught! Did he hang on? He did! No! Jalen Marshall had it, and they say the ball hit the turf.
I told you, ball coach said get wider, get wider, get wider. He was trying to throw the seam. Let's see how long he had the ball. Catches it. 1, 2. Oh, wow, I think I'd call that a touchdown.
And Steve Spurrier can challenge, or allowed to challenge it.
Well, I'll challenge this one. The ball just moved, but I think he's got control of the football, doesn't he?
And he's throwing the red challenge.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Now, you remember he was moving the receiver out. He kept going wider, wider. He was talking to the widest receiver so he could create a bigger seam for that throw right down the seam.
Each team allowed 2 coaches challenges.
And touchdowns, of course, this is not called a touchdown, so even in the NFL, you'd have to challenge this call.
Jalen Marshall, wide receiver out of Ohio State, played 10 games with the Jets in 2016. And now we'll be able to listen in.
Ground, the ball hits the ground. I'm going to let this stand.
Terry Valenti, the replay
Rolling
official.
on the ground. He's using the ground to keep it in there. The ground helps him. We're going to let it stand.
So she's going to agree with the call on the field. No touchdown. She feels that the ground helped the catch at the end of the catch.
Definitely touched. Ball is down on the ground sliding. Okay, we're gonna let it, we're gonna, wait a minute, 1 second. We've got an elbow down, it's got it, and touch. Nope, we're gonna overturn this and reverse this to a catch in the end zone for a score by Orlando. He's got possession, he tucks it in, his elbow hits, the ball is in control in his arms. We've got a score.
So she's just like us. The more she watches it, the more she sees.
I think she made the right call.
I do too. I thought it was a touchdown.
I
do too. You know what I like about it is she kept working. She didn't make one decision and go, all right, I made a decision and I'm sticking with it. She kept working and working and looking for the last thing. And the last thing she saw was the elbow down before the ball got down.
The first touchdown in Alliance history, Garrett Gilbert to Jalen Marshall.
And with an assist from the ball coach.
That's right.
Widening out that seam just enough to throw it right down there for Jalen Marshall to get it. Nice throw, too. Now they go for 2.
Have to go for 2. No extra points in the Alliance. So the 2-point conversion tried now by the Apollos.
Down! Green 10, green 10!
Hand off to Damian Smith. Up the middle, he's got it. The 2-point conversion is good. And the Apollos lead the Legends 8-3.
Back to the touchdown.
I think he had it. Elbow down, then the ball touches, and he actually controls it. I thought she was right the second time, but I do admire her for keeping on the call.
Touchdown. Touchdown. Whoa!
He was ready to throw the next play in there.
Got it.
Instead, it's a touchdown, and the Apollos lead the Legends.
$1,000 to Team Rubicon, a veteran-led nonprofit that helps communities recover after a natural disaster. Find out more. Join the effort at aaf.com/donate.
Early second quarter, Orlando 8, Atlanta 3. Our Skycam is brought to you tonight by Wheels Up.
Remember early in the game, we talked about those Matt Sim throws that were good but weren't great. Gilbert threw the great one on that one right there, and that's what led to the touchdown.
Green 80! Finish that!
On the play fake, Sims, he completes it. And it's caught by Bug Howard, his second catch of the half.
Great footwork there by Matt Sims. Free rusher from the outside. That's your responsibility on this little bit of a bootleg here, especially going to your left. You have to anticipate that guy coming from your blind side. He does. Get your feet around, throw it off balance, get rid of the ball. Perfect.
6-yard pickup for Sims and the Legends, who after a hot start, Sims has cooled off just a bit. He's got his 2nd and 4. Empty backfield. Sims off his back foot, picked off. Intercepted by Terrence Garvin. Jerome Copeland was bringing the pressure. Sims got rid of it, and here's the interception.
Watch the fake blitz and then run underneath it right here. This is how you play defense. Fake, catch it, and then sprint across where you think the quarterback's eyes are going to be. That's what we said about coaching can make the difference. That was set up. No quarterback can read that. You're the best of them. The Kurt Warners are not going to read that one, and he makes the play on their thing.
Garvin played 6 seasons in the NFL, 75 career NFL games, and he comes up with the interception. Orlando's offense right back to work. Gilbert to Marshall again, juggled and incomplete.
What great coverage, because that was a perfect throw to the middle of the field. Might have been tugging him just a bit on the play, but not enough to get called. That's really the object of playing defense. Do what you can in the secondary without being obvious. The ball again was thrown. Gilbert is on his game right now. Started slowly, as you said, but right now with the win, he's showing why he was an early draft pick in this Alliance League.
Green 10, green 10, set up.
2nd and 10, the crossing pattern complete to Charles Johnson with room to run, and Johnson inside the 10-yard line.
Remember last time the pick that should have been called on the play, it was improper technique. This is how you do it the right way. You come over and then you get out of the way. This time you do it perfect. Screen and then get out of the way so you don't get called. That's how you run the crossing route and make the play and not allow the referee to throw the flag on.
A 25-yard gain for the Apollos, who have the ball at the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
You can get set, get set. Green 10, green 10. Set up.
Gilbert completed the 5. Marshall bouncing off tacklers, gets back on his feet and taken down at the 2. And Jalen Marshall has been a huge spark for the Apollos here.
Coming off limping just a bit, it looks like, but nice, again, protection. Gilbert was allowed to kind of look across and come to Marshall as a secondary throw that time in the middle of the field.
An injury for the Legends. It's defensive back Quincy Maje, who played his collegiate football at Georgia. Marietta, Georgia native. Spent time with the Falcons in 2017, and he's with the Raiders in the preseason this past season.
So look what this Apollo offense has done. They spread him out to hit the touchdown down the seam. So now you got to know that that Legends defense is going to go over that. So what does he come back with? The crossing routes and the picks over the middle to kind of probe the middle of the defense. It's really not as complicated as you think. It's more maybe checkers than chess, but you got to know what you're doing. Just keep moving the defense's eyes. Never let them settle in on exactly what you're going to do. A little bootleg here, a little seam there, draw. Just keep that defense moving.
And the Legends training staff continuing to attend to Quincy Maje.
And, you know, with these smaller rosters, you know, this is what is it, 48? What is it, 40? How many?
So you had 52 on a roster,
and minus
9
8.
inactive.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You don't, you know, every injury has big ramifications on the defense. That means you're going to have to cross-train those defensive backs. You know, safeties are going to have to move to corner. Sometimes safeties even move to linebackers. Everybody has to know more than one position. College is a little different. One guy goes down, you know, they've got, you know, 4 or 5 stars behind him to go in.
Here we go,
At least
fellas.
the games I've been
Punch
doing
that thing in.
lately.
We got 3 chances. Let's go. Buddy right over Zoom. 35. Ready?
35, that's going to be a run play to the left.
Corners are over. You got man.
The Apollos at the 1-yard line.
Davion Smith is the running back.
Green 10, green 10. Set up.
There's the run left. Smith into the end zone. Touchdown. The Michigan man, Davion Smith, after the interception by Terrence Garvin, and the Apollos add to their lead.
And you also heard what Gilbert said just before the snap. He said, if you're listening to football and you're interested in it, why aren't you? If you're watching, you must be. He said, corners are over man-to-man. So that was a pre-read for him. Once the corners shifted, he knew he had a man coverage.
There's Garvin, who had the interception, which led to the touchdown for Orlando.
Yeah, big defensive call that time for Bobby Sanders, the defensive coordinator for the Apollo. He faked that blitz, ran underneath it. He knew exactly where to go, and he coached his guy to get that interception.
2 touchdowns in the last minute, 51 seconds for Orlando, and now the 2-point conversion. Gilbert has time, and a wide open Matt Weezer. The Buffalo product has the 2-point conversion, and Orlando leads it 16-3. It started with the interception by Garvin, ended with the touchdown run by Smith, and the Apollos with 16 unanswered points. (16-3) Orlando. This opening weekend, the Alliance is launching Touchdown for Team Rubicon. For every touchdown scored in every game this month, the Alliance will donate $1,000 to Team Rubicon, a veteran-led nonprofit that helps communities recover after a natural disaster. Find out more and join the effort at aaf.com/donate.
All right, here we go, fellas. Here we go. We got trips right now. 96 whack. Here we go.
Matt Sims back in the huddle, calling out a play. Sims 6 of 11, 64 yards, and the interception. And a handoff to Tarian Folston. Folston gets a yard. As we check in with Melanie Collins, she has an injury update.
Hey, Andrew. Well, Quincy Maje, they were examining his right knee on the field initially, but he walked off under his own power comfortably. He's been jogging back and forth on the Atlanta sideline, and I'd say as of now, his return is probable.
All right, Melanie, thank you very much. As Melanie continues to battle the on again, off again showers here in Orlando.
It's probably the first pressure drive for Sims in this football game, coming off the interception and 16 straight points for Orlando.
Sims pressure coming, hit hard, and he is dropped. Ryan Davis, who played 6 years in the NFL, comes up with the sack, a loss of 9.
Yeah, I thought Reggie Northrup, number 52, also got in there and forced Sims out of it. As again, the linebacker blitzing right up the middle that time was not handled. Remember, only allowed to bring 5, but the blitz package for a young team. We saw the offensive line. They were able to handle the 4-man rush. But now as they start the blitzing and crossing and twisting, the offensive line is beginning to be challenged.
Keep in mind, Matt Sims completely out of football last year. He hasn't been hit in a while.
Well, you can always remember that, but that feels like.
And a delayed handoff on 3rd and 18 going nowhere. Ryan Davis again. And a very quick Three-play drive and out by the Legends.
I think Bob Sanders, now the defensive coordinator for the Apollos, has been having just as good a game as the head ball coach. You know, he called that fake blitz, got the interception, then he came back with the blitz, got Sims off the mark and allowed another guy to make the sack there. He seems to now have this front four and the linebackers better in sync.
Second punt for Nozalek. With Bracy Williams, the deep man for Orlando. He muffed it. Ball is free. And the Legends recover. It's Dwayne Hollis on the recovery for Atlanta.
I've played with track guys before. They're really confident in practice. They catch all the balls. They earn the coach's confidence. But it's a whole new thing when you get in and play real football. You can be as fast as you want, but when you know those guys are coming at you full speed, that experience that he doesn't have. He just doesn't have the feel. Never played college football. It's all different when the lights go on and it's real football.
14th in the 100-meter dash at the Rio Olympics. Marvin Bracy Williams, a silver medal at the 2014 World Indoor Championships, and hasn't played a down of football since the high school All-American game in 2012.
Going off hurt too.
Yeah, grabbing his right wrist.
You know, it just takes experience, and he just doesn't have it. Obviously, he's here because he can run, and in practice he was comfortable, but it's different. It just is.
Let's see if Atlanta can capitalize. Pressure coming again. Sims is dropped again. Terrence Garvin, who had the interception with the sack, a loss of 8. And a late penalty flag.
Well, I thought they brought
dropped.
6 on that play, did they not? 4 and 2, yes. They brought 6, that's illegal.
Defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So that, I mean, it wasn't called as a 6-man. That was just a bust by one of the 2 linebackers. Should not have blitzed. You're never going to get away with that. I mean, I've been out of school a while, but I can count to 6. And I am sure the Legends, the guys in the booth, the coaches were watching it. I mean, that just looked too easy. And that overload blitz was obvious once you took one look at it and found out that 6 guys see. There's a reason they got the rule. We didn't practice that.
15-yard penalty. Moves the ball inside the 20. Atlanta in the red zone. Sims taking a shot in the end zone, and it is incomplete.
I thought he was throwing to the other guy, the back shoulder throw to the outside on the play.
And Irvin Phillips was there, but Jontavius Jones was right behind him.
Yeah, you can't. I thought he was throwing towards Jones on the play, number 15. And Phillips cut across the throw and almost intercepted it for his own team. See if he isn't throwing the back shoulder to number 15 here. And then 82 cuts into it. Look at it, you see? Jones said it was right to him.
A pitch. And it's Lawrence Pittman, his first carry. Played collegiately at Wingate and then 1 year in the CFL with Montreal, a 3-yard gain.
Okay, now with the different scoring in this league, going for 8, instead of it now being 14-3, because you assume they would kick extra points, you might say, well, a field goal, if I'm down here, would mean a lot, get it into a 1-possession game. But now I think if you're a coach with the new rules here and the way you have to go for 2, I would start thinking I might have to even go for a touchdown here.
It's 3rd and 7. Sims dumps it down underneath. And ball comes out late.
So,
now they're saying he's down. Denard Robinson had the catch.
And it's close enough now. It'll be 4th and 2. Again, the score, the difference in the scoring now may create this going forward on 4th down. Is he down on the play before the ball comes out? Yes. Good call. They're still going to go field goal early in the game.
Kevin Coyle, first time in his career that he's been a head coach. He's always been an assistant, and he sends out Younghoe Koo for a 27-yard field goal.
Well, at least they're going to line up for a field goal. Let's see if they do it.
Koo's kick is good. Second field goal of the half. Orlando 16, Atlanta 6 on CBS.
Orlando 16, Atlanta 6.
Hopefully that one stays on him.
Orlando leads it 16-6 in the other Alliance game going on right now. It's San Diego at San Antonio. A couple of field goals on the board for the Commanders. This is San Antonio kicker Nick Rose. He's got 2 field goals, and with 2.5 to go in the second quarter, San Antonio leads 6-0.
Andrew, you know, another thing I've been noticing about the pace of this game, it's going so fast that at home, if you're watching, you need to bring the ice chest of the beer out to the TV. You really don't have time to go to the refrigerator.
Point of the program, Gary. As Gilbert throwing on first down, complete another first down.
Nice throw.
This time to Chris Thompson, former Florida Gator, a gain of 15.
Well, there's no doubt right now that Garrett Gilbert is very comfortable. Now, if I'm the Legends, I got to think about the blitz myself. You know, that changed the game for the Apollos when they faked the blitz from one side, came from the other. I think Coyle, the defensive specialist and head coach, needs to start thinking about how he can get Gilbert uncomfortable.
And a handoff. They mix it up with Dearness Johnson. And a first down charge into Atlanta territory, a gain of 14.
And you know what makes a quarterback more comfortable than anything? A running game, right?
Great play call there.
Right now, anything being dialed with a hot quarterback, an offensive line that seems to be able to handle the front from Atlanta, they've got control of this football game.
First 7 dropbacks for Gilbert. He was pressured 6 times. On his last 8 dropbacks, only 1 pressure by the Atlanta defense.
That's play calling too, not just offensive line, a combination of both.
Oh, they drop it and a turnover.
No, it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Wow.
He threw it forward.
You're right, great call. Thompson dropped it.
That's actually why you do that, because if it's a mishandled, it counts as a pass. If he would have handed off and he bobbled it, it would have been a fumble. About the last 5, 6, 8 years, we've seen so much of that in the college game. I know it's gone into your broadcast now. The Chiefs are doing it. The Saints are doing it. It's going to be all over the NFL. Everybody will be bringing that as part of that jet sweep package.
Incomplete pass, second down and 10, 5:58 to go, second quarter. Gilbert over the middle, caught.
See, well caught that time. That's a receiver that's been taught well by this staff for the Apollos. Remember, Willie Jackson, the Florida wide receiver coach, told that guy, sit down if it's zone. He got it.
Chris Thompson the catch. We check in with Melanie Collins.
Well, Andrew, as the Apollos drive down the field here, they'll have to do it without wide receiver Marvin Bracey Williams. He's out with a right arm injury. And then on Atlanta's side, Quincy Maje out with a right knee injury.
All right, so we talked about the depth earlier, and now each team losing a player. Hand off to Smith, trying to fight for that first down, and he's got it. Jeff Luke on the tackle for the Legends. It was actually Dearness Johnson on the carry.
Dearness Johnson, the ball carrier.
So now Steve Spurrier in a good little groove, mixing up the run and pass. And Orlando is driving again.
Yeah, that's the problem now for this Legend defense. They have no idea what's coming at them. The only thing they can do, and it's harder in this league because you can only really blitz one guy. But how do they put pressure? No good. He doesn't like it.
Green 10, green 10.
Pitch to Johnson. That's good. Spurrier saying no good. That was good.
All right. Coach Spurrier, we know he can play. He won a Heisman. We know he can coach. He's not going to be much of a commentator.
No,
he's never not going to be able to do that. No, he's got no future.
Orlando continues to drive it right down this Atlanta defense.
Cut it back.
The defense had outflanked him. He did not like the look, but well blocked and well run.
Green 10, green 10.
Gilbert, and his pass deflected, still caught off the deflection by Thompson.
How about that reaction by Thompson?
Great hands by Chris Thompson. Everything going Orlando's way right now.
You're right. This time they faked the jet sweep, and then at the end he looks downfield, had nothing, he came down to his check down. Again, that's exactly how it's taught. It's been taught by Spurrier that way from the days of the Tampa Bay Bandits when he had John Reeves as quarterback, through Duke, through his days with Florida. Touchdown, check down. That's all you got to think. Touchdown, what do you got deep? If it's not there, go to your check down. I don't think there's anybody in the league that does that any better than the greatest of all time, Tom Brady.
Johnson again. A couple of yards shy.
Number 22,
met with Steve Spurrier and asked him about his offense. How different is it than from previous years when we saw him on the sideline? He said a little bit with the emergence of the RPA, but very similar pass route concepts.
Tell him to catch it this time.
Tell him to catch it this time. If I'm Garrett Gilbert, one of my things on my resume, if I could last the whole year as the quarterback for Steve Spurrier, that's an accomplishment. He likes to switch quarterbacks. Very demanding. Yeah, he caught it.
But he tripped. And he's going to be marked short of the first down.
So what do? Do you make up the field goal that Atlanta had, or do you go for it on fourth down? He told him to catch it. He did not tell him to keep his feet. You have to be very specific. He tripped over his own feet that time.
And they're keeping the offense out on the field on 4th and short. They can take this down to the 2-minute warning if they so choose.
From the 12.
Down. Green 10, green 10.
Gilbert, trying to get to the outside, did not get there.
No momentum. He paused right when he got it. The first thing you have to do is go. You have to anticipate the ball hitting your hand and beat the defense. Watch how, well, we got there just a bit late that time, but he caught it and looked for an opening. It's too late.
Watts, Graham, all there. And Gilbert and the Apollos stopped on 4th down. It's the 2-minute warning.
For the first time in the history of pro sports, here's the app as fast as every player in the game. The Alliance app delivers revolutionary technology, real-time play-by-play gaming, instant interactivity, truly a game changer. Get the Alliance app today. Live predictive gaming at full speed. Call the plays. Unprecedented and at your fingertips. Available in the App Store and Google Play today.
16-6 in favor of Orlando, 1:56 to go in the first half. Coming up, it's the Alliance All Access Halftime Report. Our two head coaches, Kevin Coyle and Steve Spurrier, sit down with one another and talk about the anticipation of this opening night of Alliance football and what the league means to the coaches and the players. Coming up on the Halftime Report.
One more look, Andrew, of how got backed up and then it was too late. He needed the right away, and you almost have to push the center on the play. So you decide to give up 3, you decide to go for it. You see it? My fault. He said I should have gone for the field goal.
Now Atlanta called the timeout on its opening drive, so they have 2 timeouts the rest of the half. Sims, and he is taken down. Christian French finished him off. Josh Banks the initial hit, but a flag is down.
Yeah, I wonder if it was it got a horse collar on that tackle that time.
Personal foul.
Is it face mask?
15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Andrew, clearly I'm out of practice. I got confused from the front to the back. Take a couple weeks off, you can't tell the front from the back of a guy.
So 2 straight sacks negated by defensive penalties.
Will be interesting to watch, with only a month of practice, a new team, how effective you can be in a 2-minute drill right here.
Here we go.
Boo, hey, boo!
Sims, and he overshoots his intended target, Irvin Phillips.
Yeah, great break on the ball by Will Hill. If that ball would have been catchable, Will Hill would have been able to eat it up on the play. NFL, starter in the league, a contributor, just as he told us. He said, I'm my own worst enemy, and I can never get back in that league until I learn how to control my own emotions and stay out of trouble.
Hasn't watched an NFL game since his final season in the league with the Ravens when he was suspended for a failed drug test. Sims throws this one away with the pressure coming.
Clearly, the screen passes have not been good for this league. I mean, I'm going to have to think long and hard whether I call another screen pass in this game. This was really the Legends' chance to get back in this game, too. Spurrier gambles with the quarterback sneak. I don't blame him. I think I would have done the same thing. It was 4th and short. But remember, they get the ball here, and then they get the ball to start the third quarter. So they could have climbed right back into it.
Atlanta offense has really slowed down the last few drives. Sims is 3 for his last 11, and now staring at a 3rd and 10. Sims, deep shot down the field, incomplete. Was looking for Malachi Jones, but a flag is down. Back near the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that's the 5th penalty on Orlando.
It is, and as those stunts up front, what those linemen try to do is grab the offensive lineman. Who was it? That was Leon Orr.
The defensive lineman?
Got to pull and shoot? Yeah. Pull the guy out of the way for the other guy to get in.
Throw, he needs the ball.
Yep, he heard it. He pulled one guy away so the other defensive lineman could come in. It's common. You just, again, can't get caught. You can't be obvious when you're doing it.
So an automatic first down. Sims can't escape the sack. And it's Josh Banks this time. Clock continues to tick.
Andrew Terrence Garvin again, the guy who had the interception, number 51, took away the first throw. Watch him get right underneath the outside receiver. Sims wants to go left. He cuts underneath it, has to go the other way, and he gets the sack. Garvin having a good football game. The West Virginia grad, 6 NFL seasons.
And he wears the green dot on the Orlando defense to communicate with the defensive coordinator, Bob Sanders. Sims completes. That's Phillips. And tackled by Garvin. And Atlanta not using timeouts. And now Steve Spurrier says, I'm going to use one of mine with 43 seconds to go.
I think that was the other way. Wasn't that Atlanta?
You're right. Atlanta called the timeout.
That would be very much a big gamble.
Yeah.
Spurrier took that one there. He's a gambler, but I don't know.
So one timeout left now for the Legends.
Right, 3 jet, just hang. Okay? All right, over the ball, hit those girls.
Scat it. Yep. Right new piece of license for Apollo's merchandise. Look no further. Stop. At one of our 3 in-stadium merchandise.
I should point out, you've seen Steve Spurrier hobbling a little bit on the sideline. He had back surgery 3 months ago. He said he had 7 discs repaired. And he's getting better, but that's why you're seeing him hobbling a little bit. And it's certainly taking him off the golf course. Which
yes, it's so bad he can't golf.
That's how bad it is.
Well, let's see if Matt can get the time here. Sounded to me what the call was to get something over the middle. What do they need, 8 yards here?
Yes, they do, 3rd and 8.
Down and 8.
Blue, hey, blue!
Sims chased out. He's going to keep it himself. Dives up ahead short of the first down.
That Sims the ball carrier.
A 7-yard gain.
That's a terrible spot, ref.
And Sims complaining about the spot.
Yeah, I thought they had it right there. I thought his knees came down. I thought it was perfect. And, with
6 yards timeout for Orlando. They're first of the half.
And I don't think the Legends can go for it here for one reason. It's downwind for Orlando. If they don't make it, you're almost giving the Apollos a chance for a field goal.
Take another look at the spot.
Yeah, he slid forward. That's a good call.
That's a terrible stop.
Yeah, he's clearly short, but he slid forward. Back in his New Jersey's days, used to going down those hills in the snow, right?
That's right. Snow coming next week.
Yeah, pretty good football. You know, I mean, everybody getting used to, you know, the rules. The blitz rules a little different. You know, I think you could tell the wide receivers are a real deal, right? I mean, it's hard to make the NFL. There's a lot of good receivers. You got to be the right team at the right time. All these guys, they're going to go for it.
Got the offense.
They're going to try to draw them off, aren't they? Oh, wow.
Wow, this is gutsy. Sims, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, so now you're going to give you're going to give Orlando now a clear chance for a field goal.
Josh Banks had the pressure.
So Kevin Coyle on 4th and short takes a field goal earlier in the game. Now that could have been and should have been called, obviously. So, you know, one of the things you make the call, under pressure, Sims delivers a perfect pass, but dropped on the sideline.
Sims has taken a number of big hits in this half.
It's already a 59-yard field goal, so, you know, with 2 timeouts, 20 seconds, they can get a shot for 3 here.
Gilbert with a flag down deep, and it's incomplete. Looking for Charles Johnson. Now another flag comes down in the secondary. So we've got 2 penalty markers on the field.
This might be an illegal blitz again. I thought the corner came from outside.
2 fouls, both on the defense. Illegal defense.
Yes.
That penalty is declined. Pass interference. Defense number 23. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
See, they're going to take, instead of the illegal defense, they're going to take the spot foul down the field. Grabbing him by the shoulder pad that time. They're going to call it. I don't know if the ball was catchable, but he slowed him down, where if you're the official, you got to make that call. And so now, I thought a gamble that Kevin Coyle should not have taken might even cost him 7 points instead of 3.
Or 8 points.
Yes, what am I doing?
No, right. We're all learning there. Penalties on Desmond Lawrence. 1st and goal from the 5. A 36-yard penalty. And it's a handoff to Akeem Hunt. A reverse. Marshall throwing it back, and it's caught for the touchdown. The Orlando special.
The Philly special, but it's the winter. What do Philadelphia people do in the winter? They go to Florida, right?
The Snowbird special.
Got it. Well, the head coach, this one's on him. Now listen, they got a drop pass, I give it. But when you throw the ball, that can happen. And we're going to call it, Andrew Catalan got it right. We're going to reframe this the Snowbird special right there.
And Steve Spurrier said that while he was out of coaching, as he's now taking a timeout to get set for this 2-point play, he said that he would be up at night, see something on the highlights, and he would go write down plays.
Yeah, well,
that's how much he missed coaching, and I think he took that one from the Eagles.
So the 4th down play, it was a big gamble at that position. Remember, it's downwind, the drop on 4th down, then the 2 penalties, an illegal blitz and pass interference, and then the Snowbird special right there.
Let's do the rocket. Lead right off, stack, rocket.
Lisa?
Yeah, Lisa.
You want to slide right?
Turn, slide right, Lisa. Go try the Lisa play. Hand it.
So Steve Spurrier, in his first year with the team, is 5-0 as a head coach. With the Bandits, he beat Boston. With Duke, he beat Colgate. With Florida, he beat Oklahoma State. With the Redskins, he beat Arizona. With South Carolina, he beats UCF, right where we are tonight. He's got a chance to go 6-0, and he's got a pretty good lead.
He's had over 3 years to draw up some plays, and he's not keeping any in the cupboard. He's letting them go.
Well, I got to say, when Ness and I went to do Florida games, and Vern and I went to do Florida games, Steve would always pop his head in there. What are you guys doing? What kind of plays we got? How the Gators are going to do? So you could tell he was itching to get back.
Hey, I'm gonna snap you right outside. I'm gonna snap you right outside. Yeah.
All right, now the 2-point conversion.
Green 10, green 10. Set up.
Gilbert, quick pass. Marshall right through his hands. 6 seconds to go. Again, no kickoff, so the Legends get the ball at the 25. Well, tonight's only the beginning for the Alliance because all season long, CBS Sports Network is filling your Sundays with football, bringing you a matchup every week through the spring on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Tomorrow, Memphis and Birmingham at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Those are the two other teams in the East Division, along with Atlanta and Orlando. And the Legends are setting up just to take a knee here.
Thank you. Let's go. Hurry up. Green 80. Reset.
Orlando scored all 22 of their points in the second quarter. And after Kevin Coyle and the Legends jumped out to an early lead, the Apollos have come storming back in front of the home fans. And Noni Collins is with Steve Spurrier.
Coach, your offense seems to have figured things out in a hurry. A little Orlando special action there before the half. How do you assess your offense through one half of play?
Well, we started slowly, but fortunately we started hitting some passes and playing wide open, ran the ball pretty well. We've messed up a little bit, but overall, guys are playing pretty well.
Yeah, defensively, the pass rush doing a nice job getting to Matt Sims. How pleased are you with that unit?
Yeah, really pleased. After the first drive, they had the ball 7 or 8 minutes, it seemed like, but after that, our defense is playing like we think they can.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Thanks.
Guys.
Spurrier and the Apollos with a 22-6 advantage. Coming up next, it's the Alliance All Access halftime report right after these messages on CBS.
Netflix docu-series Marching Orders. From the world's most famous beach, Daytona Beach, Florida, and the spirit and legacy of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, please welcome the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of all college marching bands, the Marching Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman University, the Pride. From the Pantheon of drum majors, unlimited excellence, the icons of legendary Five Horsemen, the fabulous Five. Orlando, stand to your feet. It's showtime. We now drill to the sounds of SWB. So Director of Band, Donovan Wells. Assistant Directors, David Garcia. And the Marie, Ernie Singleton. Alliance of American Football. Otherwise, the Goers, LA. It's Bill Duval and Midnight Slam. And Fury. Fire, let's root. Here it goes, fine, fierce, and fabulous. Let's go, Wildcats. It's time to put some funk in the bounce house, period. City girl, that's on you. Yellow PC, I like it. Cardi B, and hot. And now, Latin flavored hip hop from Cardi B.
Halftime in Orlando, and the hometown Apollos have a 22-6 lead on the Legends. In the other game going on right now, it's a defensive struggle in San Antonio between the Fleet and the Commanders. How about the hit by Sean Washington? Absolutely leveling the San Diego quarterback, and they weren't done on defense for San Antonio. Winston Craig with a sack, and they kept on coming. The interception here by Orion Stewart. So the San Antonio Commanders playing some D. Nick Rose, the kicker, a couple of field goals in the first half. And then late in the first half, San Diego making a defensive play as Ryan Moeller off the deflection comes up with the interception. That would lead to a field goal for the Fleet. And at the half in San Antonio, it's a 6-6 game. We'll be back with our second half from Orlando coming up. You're watching opening night of the Alliance on CBS.
Apollos fans, tonight is Military and First Responder Appreciation Night, and the Apollos would like to take a moment to recognize Jesse Awuji. Not only is Jesse a former college football player at the Naval Academy, but he is a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy and is currently serving in the Navy Reserves. Jesse is now pursuing the next chapter in his life that of becoming a professional NASCAR driver. Jesse competes on the NASCAR Truck Series across the country, including tracks like Daytona International Speedway. Thank you for your service, Jesse. Good luck this season. Apollos fans, please direct your attention to Apollo Vision. Tonight, as we play the first game in franchise history, we want to give a warm welcome to a pair of special fans. Daryl and Linda Williams from Sanford, Florida, the very first season ticket holders in Orlando Apollos history.
Back in Orlando, we'll look at the first half numbers dominated by the Apollos, especially in the second quarter when they scored all 22 of their points, 191 yards of total offense to 89 for the Legends. Back in the booth with Gary Danielson, our analyst for the SEC on CBS. I'm Andrew Catalano. We're here from Melanie Collins coming up. All right, we've had one half to digest the alliance. What do you think?
Well, my first impression is these guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you watch them and say, no, okay, it is hard to make the NFL. Believe me, I get it. That's watching these guys like Jalen Marshall. You watch him play, you go, that guy can't play? Come on, how good are they? But you got to be in the right spot. And in this game, Spurrier got his guys in the right spot. It started with his defense. That turned the game around. But he just seems to have a touch for calling these plays. And he kind of outsmarted Kevin Coyle in his first half of the game.
Yeah, and their defense also played very well. A lot of hits on Matt Sims.
Yeah.
3 sacks for the Orlando defense in the first half.
Matt Sims looked like he was in control of the game early. Then all of a sudden that front 7, doesn't matter. You can only bring 5, but they were bringing a different 5 each time. And they kind of pressured and got the sack and then the interception. That's really what turned the football game around for Apollos. And then Steve called the play. Remember, he was widening out the receiver. Garrett Gilbert throws a strike, went to replay. Looked like it was going to be overruled, but it was called a touchdown. And then from there, it's very comfortable for the Apollos. The late decision to go for it on 4th down cost Atlanta 6 points at the end.
And Melanie Collins is with Atlanta head coach Kevin Coyle.
Thank you, guys. Coach, you told me in order to find success tonight, not only would the offensive line need to protect Matt Sims, but the secondary would also not give up chunk plays. So far, some difficulty with both in the first half. How do you adjust?
Well, you know, we just have to be sounder in what we're doing. We got off to a decent start in the beginning of the game, but as the game progressed, we had some self-inflicted wounds out there. We gave up a couple of big plays defensively. We had penalties that hurt us on top of big plays, which really hurt us. But at the end of the day, we're down by 2 scores. We got the ball coming out of the second half, so if we can get something going on offense and get a stop here early on, we can get right back into this game.
Coach, thank you for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys?
Yeah, I got to feel that way if you're Atlanta. I mean, if one team can score 22 in a quarter, we can too. That's the way you have to look at it.
Let's take a look at tonight's quarterback comparison brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. And you see the 1 interception for Sims, for Gilbert a touchdown pass and a touchdown reception, as we just saw in the highlights.
And there's no doubt that Matt Sims was under a lot more pressure in there from trying to throw the ball in the pocket. You know, so nobody can do that when you got those guys barreling in on you. He had a couple drops, especially that 4th down drop at the end of the half. He made a great throw on that one. But Garrett Gilbert just looked in total control. He had Spurrier's offense going and looked like any play they wanted to grab at the end of the quarter was going to work.
Started the second half with the Legends at the 25-yard line under the direction of quarterback Matt Sims. And a handoff on 1st down to Folston right up the middle, and Will Hill drags him down, but not before Folston picks up 9.
If you want to slow down that eager pass rush, you have to let them know we're willing to run the ball at you. That time a little trap inside. You got those defensive linemen coming upfield. You have to trap them.
I'm really fascinated by the halftime adjustments, especially in the opening game.
And how hard it is with a new team like this. You're right, Andrew. another run play.
And Folston picks up the first down.
Again, you got a defensive line that's kind of licking their chops going after the quarterback. You got to slow them down. The screens are one way to do it, but they've been snuffed out, so you got to find a different way.
Pretty balanced attack there. You saw the play selection.
Here we go. Blue 80! Blue inside!
Another run to Folston, trying to get to the left side, and he is hit hard on that play by Keith Reeser out of Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, did a nice job of staying outside. When you're the wide man and you have, you know, that wide rushing play, you've got to turn it back in. You've got contained. Make sure you, if you don't make the tackle, you turn it back in to help. That's exactly what he did. Josh Evans says, thank you. I'll clean it up.
Yep. Second down and 7 with Denard Robinson now running back. How about this running attack out of the gate? Robinson stays on his feet and works hard to get a few extra yards before Leon Orr makes the tackle, a gain of 4.
Of course, Denard Robinson made his Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year at Michigan. Quarterback, switched to running back for Jacksonville when he played there. I think his best year was 2014 when he rushed in the NFL for 582 yards.
And being out of football, Robinson said sitting around, he ballooned up to 240 pounds. When training camp started, he got down to about 215, so he's lost 25. He's got a little more to go, he says. Sims hands it off to Justin Thomas. He's got some speed. And Thomas with a first down.
Very well designed play that time. Fake the jet sweep, hand it off. You pull the lineman around, and Thomas has the ball in open space. I think Orlando did about as good as they could here to keep this from being a 25, 30-yard play. Good tackle in the open field, forced it wide, and made the play on the outside.
That's the first touch tonight for Justin Thomas, who Kevin Coyle told us very fast. Played collegiately at Georgia Tech.
Played quarterback at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, high snap. Sims does a good job to field it, but nothing doing there on that play by Robinson. Orr and Davis on the stop.
Okay, so this Orlando front said, all right, we get it. You're going to run at us, so we're going to play the run. Now you got to figure out, after 6 straight runs, can you throw the ball here?
Hey, over here.
Sims directing traffic.
Get set, get set. 380. Inside.
It's a play fake. Sims, and that pass is caught by Bug Howard. And the tackle made by Garvin. We should probably explain the name Bug. That's not his real name, but as a toddler, his grandma gave him the nickname because he was nagging his grandma, and she said it's like a little bug hanging around, and all these years later it's still Bug Howard.
Except he's a big bug.
Yes, large insect.
And you wonder again now, if you're going to go for it on the end of the half, if it's a 4th down call right here, meaning as a coordinator, you know calling this one, you got another one afterwards.
3rd and 6, Sims, and it's broken up.
Interference?
Is there a flag? It was Keith Reeser getting a hand on it. No penalty marker. It's 4th down.
Did he get there earlier or not? It looked to the naked eye that Reeser got there before the ball. Let's see. Slant. Yeah, I thought he did. Yeah, that could have easily been called interference. He got his back shoulder with his left arm, and that could have been called.
And Kevin Coyle, after going for it in the first half late on 4th down from his own territory, here is sending out his punter, Nizelek, on 4th and 6.
And Orlando stays defense safe. They're playing it as a fake, and it is not.
And a good punt.
Yeah, and I guess right now, Kevin Coyle is wishing he would have punted at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and a flag is down right in front of the Orlando sideline.
Well, it was 4th and 6 on this play. So if it's against the Apollos, it would make it 4th and short.
The only other Alliance coach in his first year as a coach, Tim Lewis.
There is no foul for timeout.
And they pick up the marker. It's Orlando football with 10:32 to go in the third quarter. Apollo is still on top, 22-6.
Who developed Hawaiian Tropics suntan lotion in the 1970s and 80s.
35 hook.
Brands in the world. It supports the Apollos, who is friends, and new brand Havana Sun, made tonight a special night.
Early third quarter, Orlando up 22-6. As we said, we've had the benefit of these players wearing microphones. And let's listen in.
Okay, we're going to go with the throwback pass to you. Okay, set up.
Good stuff with these microphones. Spurrier's having a fun night as Garrett Gilbert and the Apollos offense return to the field. And a handoff on first down to Akeem Hunt. 2-yard pickup.
One of the things about playing quarterback in this league is, you know, you're out there to show what you can do, but you have to be patient. You don't want to try to do too much. You don't want to impress every NFL scout in the building on the first game or the first half. Let it come to you. The people will notice what you can do over time. It's really hard to do when you're playing quarterback. Just relax and let the game come to you.
Gilbert, good protection, fires a strike. Yep. And that is caught by Charles Johnson. Gilbert is showing off his arm strength.
He really did. Yeah, you know, in our booth right there, this was right at us. Of course, it was below us, but you could see the hole that Garrett saw on the play and delivered it really to the outside of the receiver, too. That's one of the kind of the hidden traits of the great ones. You know, the breezes that can do it. They don't just throw it to the receiver, they throw it to the right half of the receiver. When it should be the outside, they throw it there. The receivers love a guy that can do that.
Johnson slowly walked off the field. It's a handoff to Hunt. Hunt across the 25-yard line. You know, Hines Ward, who works for the Alliance, was interviewed by MMQB.com, and he was asked, give me one name, one guy who's going to be in the NFL next year, week 7. And the guy that Hines Ward said was Garrett Gilbert. Really? He really thought that highly of him after watching him in San Antonio, and the fact that he'd get to be with Steve Spurrier.
Yeah. Well, like I say, you know, the reputation of Steve is if you don't play well, he benches you quickly. So if he could just last, if I was an NFL coach, I'd say, I'm impressed.
On 2nd and 2.
Be nice.
Slips a couple of tackles, and he's got the first.
You know, it would be nice if we could ask an ex-NFL coach if he would be impressed with that.
First, we're going to go down to Melanie Collins with an astronaut.
I set that up.
An astronaut's more important than a coach.
I am joined by Walter Cunningham, the pilot of the Apollo 7 mission. It is so cool to have you here, and it's been 50 years since that mission. Do you feel like it was yesterday, or does it feel like it's been 50 years?
Well, how I feel is different than how my brain has evolved in the last 50 years.
Fair.
What is really amazing to me, and I'm so glad I was here, is because it's the Apollo team. And now that we're watching the game, and they keep talking about the Apollos, I have a hard time remembering it as the football team.
Safe to say you're a fan of the name.
My what?
Safe to say you're a fan of the team name.
I am a fan. I like a lot of things about this team. Principally, the thing I see the most, the strength thing, is the discipline of following the schedule so close. So you don't have a bunch of goofing around and waiting for ads and stuff like that.
And you're one of the most experienced fighter pilots of our time, so you know all about that. Guys, back up to you. Thank you, Walter.
All right, thanks, Melanie. No goofing around. I like it.
Not when you're going to an Apollo jet or fighter jets. You got to follow orders.
7:20 to go, third quarter. Apollo's another good-looking drive as Hunt fakes the reverse and shoved out of bounds by Jeff Luke.
Don't you have a feeling we're here in Orlando doing this game that the people in Florida were tuning in going, Wow, do I recognize this offense? The Gators ran the same offense. They might not be blitzing, there might be different rules, but I recognize this Spurrier fun and gun offense.
That's what Gilbert, that's how he described it, the fun and gun. He said it's aggressive downfield passing game. We've seen Spurrier and the Apollos take a number of shots tonight.
One of the things that Steve always stresses in his passing game is spacing for his receivers.
Green 10. Set up.
Go pressure up the middle there. Couldn't step into that throw.
Comes up short to Ishmael Hyman out of James Madison.
To play good defense, you can't just defend the defensive backs. You got to get that defensive line into the quarterback's feet. Even if you don't get to him, you got to get him to feel, even if it's an offensive tackle or guard, feel like that pocket is collapsing. Listen, we all look downfield, but we can all feel that pocket at our feet.
Orlando 2 for 5 on third downs tonight. And they're faced with 3rd and 6 from the Atlanta 36.
Green 10. Set up.
Oh, wide open on the crossing pattern. It's Hyman. And Hyman with a big play for the Apollos.
The Legends defense that time blitzed. They brought 5 guys. That means they played man-to-man behind. The blitz was picked up. Good job up front taking on the blitzing linebacker. You free up one of those short crossing routes. Too much space on the field. Boy, when you get a blitz as a quarterback and you have the confidence that your running back can step up there and take on that blitz man, I'd beg him to blitz all game.
And Steve Spurrier's loving this. They're working on an 8-play, 80-yard drive.
Yeah, remember it started way back there after the good punt.
And an injured member of the Legends, it's Duran Grant, who played collegiately at Ohio State, hobbling off the field. Remember, they already lost a member of their secondary to injury in Quincy Maje in the first half.
Yeah, Duran is one of the veterans for this Legends team as we listen to Steve again. Did I talk right over him? I did not hear it.
No.
I was talking though.
He thinks it's a touchdown, though. That's what he called. I think he thinks it every play.
It's kind of funny when you go and interview Steve, and it's always been that way ever since I remember. You go in there, in the first 10 minutes, he's very comfortable talking to you. Then he starts looking at his watch, and you know it's time to wrap it up.
First down and 10. Ball at the 13-yard line. And it's Hunt.
Nice pressure inside.
Yeah, good job by that Atlanta defense crashing down.
The ball carrier.
I think the only person more excited than Spurrier at Thursday's practice that we saw was his wife, Jerry.
Yeah, how about that?
She was so into it, walking all around, pacing, giving high fives to the players.
Well, you know, he may switch quarterbacks, but to tell you what, Jerry must be awful good because he ain't switching from Jerry.
Awesome. Wise man.
That's right.
Gotta go, Didi.
Just think how good she must be, right?
He just said, gotta go, Didi. That's Dante Dye, number 11. Let's see if it's going his way. Gilbert in trouble, and he is sacked.
But you're right, that's who it was going to go. It was going to go to the post to Didi, right up there, Dye, right into the middle of the field, but no time.
J.T. Jones, the sack for the Legends.
On the sack for Atlanta.
Just a 4-man rush this time. Coming from the outside, beats the left tackle that time. No time to get to the post, just took a little too long. Remember, a field goal is big here, 16-point game. A field goal we could make with the 2 touchdowns, 8 and 8. Remember, as Kevin Coyle said, we're only 2 scores behind. A field goal would be big for Orlando right now.
That's sacked by Jones, who played at Miami of Ohio. A loss of 10, so 3rd and 21. Gilbert nowhere to go. He's going to keep it himself up the middle. And he's able to get some of those yards back, but still well short of a first down.
Yeah, good defense that time. All the crossing routes were picked up by the Legend linebackers. Nowhere to really go with the football. You don't want to take a chance again. You got a 16-point lead. You got a chance to kick with the win and make a field goal. You can't make a mistake as a quarterback in that situation.
So Elliott Fry, who played for Spurrier in South Carolina, the program's all-time leading scorer, comes out to attempt a 33-yard field goal. kick on the way, and it is good. With 3:22 to go in the third quarter, now we've got a 3-score game, 25-6 in favor of Orlando.
3:22 left in the third quarter. Orlando Apollos 25, Atlanta 6. Apollos fans, direct your attention to Apollo Vision. It's time to play the Taking Shuffle. Brought to you by Bud Light.
(25-6) in favor of Orlando. Our Skycam is brought to you tonight by Wheels Up, and we've got a special guest with us in the booth. Longtime NFL head coach Jeff Fisher, who's now the director of football strategy for the Alliance. And Jeff, I know it's been a busy 6 weeks or so for you. Now we've got football finally. What have you seen so far?
It's really great. You know, I'll take you back to April when I met first with Charlie and Bill, and they presented this idea and this concept, and there were 6 people in the room, and here we are with the league with over 1,000 employees, and hard to imagine that we've got football going right now, and it's going very well. I really enjoyed listening to you guys, and I mean, I cannot find it hard to believe that you're not having a good time watching this football
It's
stuff.
been good football. We've been
Yeah.
really impressed. What stood out to you so far in this game from a football perspective?
Well, the talent level itself is above what people expected, I think, and we knew it was going to be that way because of where the player pool's coming from, and you know the guys have they've really worked hard over the last month or so. You got training camp, and you got one preseason game, and they moved home a week ago, and here they are.
You know what I think the fan is saying right now, Jeff, is, you mean these guys aren't good enough to play in the NFL? I mean, that's how hard it is to play in that league. And all these college kids that think it's so easy to jump to the next level should watch this game and learn.
And be appreciative of the fact that this league exists now, to where in the event that you don't get the reps that you need to make a team, that you have an opportunity to go and showcase your talent.
There's a, when you had guys, you were making that final cut. These are the guys, the last 10 guys. Did you have those guys that you said, I don't think he's good enough, and then he came back and go, wow, how did I miss this?
Gary, I'll give you a great example, okay? How about Garrett Gilbert? We drafted Garrett in 2014 from SMU when I was with the Rams in the 6th round. I'm sorry, and so here he is. He just didn't get the snaps and the reps there, and it was a practice squad, and then he got signed off the practice squad. He ends up at Carolina, and now here he is. And you knew he had the talent. You saw the talent level at college, and you knew he just needed some reps. And it's a great example that you bring up there. Here's your guy that has a chance to come back in and maybe make an NFL roster.
There's a 2 types of guys to me out here. There's the guys who maybe didn't make it because of injury or talent or from it. Then there's guys a little bit like me. When I was in it, I wasn't ready. When I got out of college, I could not make the league. I needed 2 years of this to have a chance. That's the different types of guys that are out here.
It really is, and for years we've missed that alternate league, the NFL Europe or whatever it is, where the players can go out and get those much-needed reps. It's been said many, many times, and I repeated it several weeks ago, the difference between an average player and a good player, it's about 1,500 snaps. You need those snaps, and the way the current CBA is right now, the players just don't get the reps. You don't have the practice time, the reps, the padded practice, and then when you get in the preseason game in the National Football League, what are you doing? You're getting your group ready to play, and so they'll get reps in the preseason games, and pretty much that's it.
81-85, I played against this guy.
Right.
I didn't like him this close, buddy. I used to blitz him all the time.
Jeff, thanks for coming up to the booth. We appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun tonight. Kudos to you and your staff.
Just won an all-exclusive package for the Orlando Apollos next home game. Your chance to ride like the gods. Sign up for the Apollo Series event prior to each home game.
1:32 to go, third quarter. Orlando in control, 25-6, and the aforementioned Garrett Gilbert has had a very nice night. 13 of 23, 186 yards passing, a touchdown pass, and a touchdown catch.
The thing I'll say is yes, he's thrown the ball accurately. He's looked like he's in control, but the whole offense looks like it's under control in this game. You know, that Legend defensive line, the only time they've stopped the offense is when the defensive line has stopped the quarterback. They've thrown a little bit of everything at him, but the story of the game is, as a group, they have kept the Legend defense off balance, more advanced in my opinion.
And Orlando starting this drive on the ground with Davion Smith, the running back out of Michigan.
Gotta say, back in the day, the MO for a Steve Spurrier team was they always used to rush for a lot of yards. Everybody used to say it was all fun and gun. But what he used to do was build a lead and then grind you at the end of the game. A lot of his rushing yards were in the middle of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. You know, he knew if he, well, sometimes he liked to run up the score, to be honest. But he knew how to take and finish a game by running the ball and grinding out the clock, too.
4 scores on their last 5 drives for the Apollos, and here they are trying to grind it out on the ground, like Gary said, with Davion Smith another carry, with 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. And that brings their rushing total on the day to 91 yards to just 58 for the Legends.
Yeah, this success of this game, for the Legends to get back in this game, they cannot allow a conversion on this 3rd and long. The Legend defense now has to step up. Let's see, they got a 3-man line. See how many they bring.
3rd down and 8.
Green 10, green 10.
They bring 5.
Gilbert, nice pocket, completes it. Hyman trying to break free. He does. There is a flag down. Good job by Hyman to break that tackle. And now let's see if the play stands. Orlando has killed Atlanta on the crossing routes.
Yeah, and this is on Orlando, too.
Pass interference. Offense, number 80. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
It's on the tight end, Sean
That's the
Price.
end of the 3rd quarter.
Well, you know it's that same pick play they've been running all game, and Sean Pence, you heard Price, you heard him say, I didn't touch him. We'll see.
We are through 3 quarters here in Orlando, and the Apollos lead it on CBS.
For the first time in the history of pro sports, here's the app as fast as every player in the game. The Alliance app delivers revolutionary technology, real-time play-by-play gaming, instant interactivity. Truly a game changer. Get the Alliance app today. Live predictive gaming at full speed. Call the plays. Unprecedented and at your fingertips. Available in the App Store and Google Play today.
We begin the fourth quarter with Orlando leading 25-6, but the Apollos faced with a 3rd and long to begin the fourth.
Yeah, you got to be very careful here for the quarterback. I'm sure that at the end of the quarter, Steve said, take care of the football here.
Gilbert.
Yep, take care of the football. Check down.
Dumps it down to Smith. And hit hard by Brandon Watts at Georgia Tech. It's 4th down after a gain of 7.
Just makes sense. If you got a team, at this point in the game, got 6 points in the game, you can't give them a mistake in plus territory and let them get back in the football game. Punt it and see if they can drive on you.
It'll be the 3rd punt for Ben Turk, and Irvin Phillips, who played collegiately at Syracuse, is back deep to receive the punt. One bounces at the 40, high hop for Phillips at the 35. He dropped it. Orlando has fallen on the football.
Still a fight there.
They have not officially ruled it Apollo's football. It appeared to be clear that Chris Thompson had it.
Yeah, Phillips kept fighting on the play.
Atlanta somehow comes away with it.
Never give up on it. Even if it's the other guy's got it, just keep it. Because remember, a tie ball would go to the offense. So if you're in there digging, even if he's got it, just keep fighting for it. Phillips saves a turnover because you're right. I thought he had it. Bad. Oh, that's a bad mistake. You took about looking away. And you're right, Andrew. I thought for sure that this was going to be a turnover. But stay with it. Keep fighting. 50-50 ball. And which way is it going to go? I still haven't decided.
So it's a Syracuse grad fighting with a Florida product.
Exactly.
Not the first time Syracuse and Florida have fought. 1991, 5th-ranked Florida lost to the Orangemen at the time, 38-21. Steve Spurrier was in his 2nd season as the Gators head football coach. And Kevin Coyle, the Legends head coach, was in his 1st year as Syracuse's defensive coordinator. It was the Gators' only regular season loss. They ended up losing to Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, they did. You were right. You made the call.
Yeah.
They did give the ball. They pointed the wrong way. They gave the ball to the Apollo. And I wonder if there's going to be a question from Kevin Coyle right now.
He threw the challenge flag.
Yes.
That's going to be a tough one to overturn.
Yes. You can see the rain is starting again in the stadium.
The Atlanta coach is challenging the recovery of the kick. Timeout.
I don't really blame him here, though. With the way the game is going, the amount of the time he needs this, he needs the replay official or the sky judge or, divine intervention here, whatever, if there's anybody above him. But they need somebody to keep the ball here.
Again, the call on the field, even though they signaled the wrong way, was Orlando football. So there's going to need to be conclusive evidence that Phillips got it.
By the way, I think this is going to have to be a replay judge call because there's nothing egregious about this call.
We've got
so this is all up
kicker's
to the replay
arm coming
official.
over the top of the ball and the scramble at the end. H is coming in. Let's see if we got any differentiating. Right. I've got his white recovering with his arm over it. I don't have an eye. Send it to me. Send me the next replay. We're trying to get conclusive evidence that the kickers did not recover this ball. And I have nothing conclusive to say. They grab it there. John, we're going to have to let this stand. I don't have anything coming in that conclusively indicates otherwise. The kickers had their arm over it. I don't see the ball with it in the possession of the receiver, so I'd let it stand.
Great stuff with Terry Valenti. She was communicating with John O'Neill.
After further review, The ruling on the field of the kicking team recovering the ball stands. Orlando's ball, first and 10. Atlanta is charged a timeout and has lost the use of their challenge for the half.
That's the only reason why I don't think it was worth it, because if you have any chance to come back, you're probably going to need your timeout. It's a tough call.
I get your point. I mean, but, you know, the way this game goes and how fast it is and the score, I'm just like, oh, God, please. Maybe there's something there that we get the ball back. You know, 50-50. I could see it your way, too.
Green 10, green 10. Orlando football. From the Atlanta 35-yard line, they're going to keep it on the ground with Dearness Johnson. And let's check in with Melanie Collins.
Guys, an injury update on Atlanta cornerback Duran Grant, who came off the field limping. It is a left groin injury. He was yelling in pain as he tried to jog it off down here. He now has ice on it and his helmet off, and he's officially out. So a big blow to this secondary.
And starting corner for the Legends. Thank you very much, Melanie. Grant now out.
Wanted to ask Melanie, is it raining harder? It appears from up here that it's gotten really a tougher rain out there for the players now, Melanie.
Green 10, green 10!
Gary, you hear me? Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, Melanie. As Gilbert's going to throw a touchdown to Johnson.
Wow. The rain didn't stop that one.
How about that? Dearness Johnson, a 33-yard touchdown.
That's good for a touchdown. Orlando.
Into the wind, into the rain, but when you got a guy wide open like that, let it go.
So, Melanie, I guess the rain doesn't really affect Orlando here.
Not too much, guys. I'll be honest. It's really just kind of a blowing mist right now. It's not that heavy, so shouldn't be much of a factor.
And it wasn't. It was one of those little hitches and go to the outside. They've been running that crossing route. This time he set it up and then just went long on the play. Put your running back out there. That's always a tough match for a defense. They don't know quite what to do with a running back, and he did it perfectly.
31-6, Orlando, and now the two-point conversion.
Green 10, green 10! Set up!
And Gilbert's pass is high and incomplete, but a flag is down. It's funny, you kind of joke that Spurrier like to run up the score. Now he's got an excuse. He has to go for two.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't kick the extra
point. I hadn't even
point.
thought about that. Yeah. How many times has he had to explain afterwards?
Holding. Defense number 23. After distance, we will retry from the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Penalty on Desmond Lawrence, so now they get the ball to 1.
Buddy Wright over Zoom, 35. Get it in there, 35.
They're going to go back to that first two-point play. They're going to run the ball this time.
Yeah, I thought this was that.
Two-point conversion is a take 2.
I think they're going to bring the guy in motion from left to right and then hand it off to the running back.
Green 10, set up.
There goes the motion man. There's the handoff. And did Hunt get in? Did not get in. So good job by Atlanta there to hold on the two-point conversion. But Garrett Gilbert's putting on a show for the Apollos. His second touchdown pass of the night. This one to Dearness Johnson. And it's showtime at the Apollos on CBS. (31-6) Orlando, and this week Colbert is all new with Bradley Cooper. Plus Trevor Noah, Regina King, and Monday don't miss John Oliver. And all new Colbert all this week on CBS.
So we've been talking a lot about Steve Spurrier, but remember this Orlando defense. Atlanta's only got 125 total yards in the game.
Sims, the check down. Before that play, Atlanta had 67 yards on its opening drive. And in the 8 drives since then, they totaled 58 yards.
Yeah. When you have a game that's built for passing and you enter the fourth quarter with 82 yards passing, not going to win.
Sunday, select!
Sims takes a big hit, completes it to Folston, And he's a half-yard shy of a first down.
And I think the Orlando defense now will back off in the zone, try to keep those checkdowns in front of them. They will trade yards for time at this point of the game. Check down in front, come up, make the tackle, wrap it up. Kill another 40 seconds.
3rd and inches. Orlando jump, free play for Atlanta, and it's broken up as Bryce Kennedy got a hand on it, but looked to be offsides on Orlando.
Yeah, it's also going to be pass interference on the play as well.
Yeah, second flag down in the secondary.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense. Offside. That penalty is declined. Illegal contact. Defense number 21. 5 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
That's on Jerome Copeland. Copeland, who played 16 NFL games with the Lions and the Eagles.
And think about this, when you really put it into perspective with this Orlando defense, they have 6 corners listed on the roster for this football game. We watch this play.
And Sims completes it at midfield.
To start the game, 4 of their corners of the 6 were inactive. So they only had 2 listed corners healthy to play for this football game. And going into the 4th quarter, they held Atlanta to 82 yards passing.
A great job by Orlando and defensive coordinator Bob Sanders, who we spent some time with yesterday. He coached 17 years in the NFL. And a credit to him. He said that after he agreed to join Steve Spurrier's staff, he had a call to join an NFL team, but he wanted to honor his commitment to Steve Spurrier and stay as the defensive coordinator here in Orlando. There's Bob Sanders. They got some big names on their defensive staff.
Jim Jeffcoat, right?
Donnie Abraham, Lito Shepard played for Spurrier in Florida.
Remember Bobby Sanders, he was defensive coordinator for the Packers early 2005-06. There's that screen pass again.
And it's picked off. Garvin down the sideline. Will it be a pick 6? You betcha! Touchdown, Orlando! A 51-yard return for number 51, Terrence Garvin.
We said earlier, I would not call another screen. They called one too many. Screen pass, well defended, just a little wide. It bounces up right to Garvin. Sims is the only one that had a chance, and Garvin's a little too athletic for anybody.
How about the night for Garvin? 10 tackles, 2 interceptions, a touchdown, and a tackle for a loss. And we saw him at practice Thursday,
yes,
and he really stood out as the playmaker of this Orlando defense.
Played 6 years in the NFL with the Steelers and the Redskins, and you can tell that in the right setting, he's a guy that definitely has NFL talent.
Orlando calls timeout before attempting the 2-point conversion.
Once again, we'd like to give a very special thanks to one of our key partners, FBC Mortgage. Thank you so much for your support.
Update from San Antonio, the other game going on. And the Commanders with the touchdown run. That's Kenneth Farrow, who played collegiately at Houston, taking it in for San Antonio, and they lead it 12-6 with 6.5 to play. Now Orlando ready for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah. Green 10, green 10.
Gilbert looking for the slant, nobody home, incomplete. But Orlando has scored 20 points off turnovers tonight, and they are pouring it on against the Legends. 11:07 to go. Orlando 37, Atlanta 6.
and 10 Atlanta. As a warning line.
(37-6) in favor of Orlando. Our Skycam tonight is brought to you by Wheels Up.
I wonder if they might give Aaron Murray a shot here just for a little playing time in this football game. Nothing against what Matt has done. He's been under a lot of pressure, but I wonder if Aaron might get a chance to get a few plays here in the game.
And still Sims for now. On first down. Oh, Sims is leveled.
There might be a reason to put him in the... Holy cow.
That was the biggest hit we've seen of the night.
And watch the toughness of Matt Sims get right up.
Take a listen. Earl O'Kine, not kind to Matt Sims on that play.
Holy cow.
He actually got 7 yards out of it.
7 painful yards.
2nd and 3. Sims chased by Davis and throws on the run along the sideline. The catch is made by Justin Thomas for a gain of 10.
Not sure if he got both feet in on the catch, but the game is going pretty fast, and I don't know if it's worth a challenge here.
That's good for an Atlanta first down.
And now there's an injured Apollo. It's Copeland, the safety, part of a already banged up Apollo's secondary.
Yeah, and Marquez White, number 27, also kind of sat down, and then he saw Copeland down. He says, "Oh, okay, if he's down, I don't need to be down." He got back up. You get a little winded. They do not have much depth at corner in the game. It could be, one of those cramping, I'm tired, give me a blow type injuries.
It's been weird when you think about it. You haven't seen, since that opening drive, Atlanta take a lot of deep shots down the field. But at the same time, Sims hasn't had enough time to throw down the field.
And if you noticed on the play before, even the great completion that he threw, it was timed out the blitz perfectly. Linebacker hit the offensive guard, allowed the stunning defensive end to flush Sims out of the pocket right there. This Orlando defense is just on it. I mean, that's all the only way to say it.
They're still attending to Copeland, who played collegiately at William and Mary. Last season was in the CFL with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Matt Sims has been hit 9 times tonight. And I'd say the majority of those have been pretty big pops.
1st and 10.
10 minutes to go in the opener of the Alliance of American Football. Sims chased from behind, and he's sacked again.
Earl O'Kine is quite an athlete, I'll tell you. Number 59, if you want to watch an edge rusher and you go, okay, these guys are minor leaguers. All right, maybe they are. But that 6'5", 265-pound athlete coming off the edge, you better be ready to block him, because when he knows it's a pass play, he's tough to handle.
That's the 3rd sack by the Orlando defense tonight. It's 2nd and 15. Sims, and it's incomplete. Throwing in the direction of Malachi Jones. Sims is now 14 out of 27 for 119 yards and 2 interceptions.
And I've been there in one of those games where you're just not quite able to keep that pass rush and defense off you, and you're scrambling. You're really not zeroing in. You can't set your feet as a quarterback, and you're like finding some way. Can we do a screen? No, we're not going to do a screen. Can we do something to keep the pressure off me? Chip your backs, keep it tight in, whatever you have to do. You got to be able to set up and throw the ball.
3rd down and 15. Sims completes it to Thomas. And Thomas is forced out of bounds. Good defense by Keith Reeser. He played at Florida Atlantic. And Kevin Coyle is not going to try to go for anything crazy. Sends out his punter, Cameron Nizilik.
Well, remember, Cameron Nizilik tried out for the Orlando team, and my partner got him the job here in Atlanta.
Brad Nessler gets an assist.
Yeah, he's a friend of the family, and He's called up the Atlanta team where he lives and said, hey, this guy can punt. You might want to take a look at him. They looked at him and they said, Ness, you're right. He can punt. Former Georgia punter's got a job. And Ness is not even going to take 3% like the usual agent. No, he's not even going to do it.
That one goes into the end zone. And it's a touchback by Nazalik with 8:20 to go, fourth quarter. And how about the play of Terrence Garvin tonight? He has been the star on defense for Orlando.
Well, you had the stats on him. He's done just about everything. A sack, a fake blitz, INT. What do you have, 9 or 10 tackles?
10 tackles.
And then he's the recipient of a bobble pass, and he gets a pick 6. Told you I could play. That's what he's saying right now.
And Steve Spurrier is going to make a quarterback change. Up big, he's going to enter Austin Appleby, who played 1 year at Florida, started his collegiate career at Purdue.
Yes.
So Appleby in there and handing off to Hunt on first down.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Aaron Murray too. When you might as well get both your quarterbacks ready. It's a long season. You're going to need both of them. Get them a few snaps. You know, this game is determined who's going to win it right now. You know the outcome. So you might as well get your backup quarterback ready in case something happens to your starter.
Appleby was a third-round pick in the AAF quarterback draft. There is Aaron Murray loosening up his arm on the Atlanta sideline, the former Georgia quarterback.
Colleagues at CBS during his, what is it, his off-season or his real season? I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, I'm confused as well. Does a great job on CBS Sports Network as a college football analyst, and I have to try to give it another go with football. And he's loosening up as if he will go into the game next series.
What was he? I think he was a 5th-round draft pick for the Kansas City Chiefs back in his day.
Yeah, 2014. Also spent time with Arizona, Philadelphia, and Chicago. Still holds a number of SEC passing records.
I think we probably did, let's see, 4 years of Aaron, 3 or 4 games. So, you know, we probably did 12 games. Did 12 interviews of Aaron. Every time we were there, that's who we talked to, Aaron Murray.
Very charismatic, as he's showing on TV now. And a 3rd down and 3 for Orlando and Austin Appleby. Hand off to Akeem Hunt, and he's got the first down and more. There goes Hunt. And taken out of bounds by Ed Reynolds Jr., but not before Hunt gains 31.
Well, I tell you, the offense of Orlando is kind of just tired out. This Atlanta defense right now, they're looking at the score, they're looking at the clock, and they're like, get us out of here. Because right now, they can't get anything, they can't stop anything. And Appleby comes into the game, and, you know, as Andrew told you, started out his career at Purdue. We saw him finish it up at Florida. Steve's always going to give a Florida guy a chance.
And that keeps the clock moving with 6 minutes to go.
Andrew Tiller that time, number 75. Good block on his pull and pin on that play.
Appleby taking a shot deep for Thompson, incomplete. And a flag.
Oh boy. Underthrown ball. Receiver tries to come back and catch it. Remember, the ball is thrown into the wind, going from right to left on your screen. It kind of died out, and the defender kind of ran right through the receiver. Let's take a look at it.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Well, that was kind of I would kind of think that ball was poorly thrown, was really not a catchable ball, and I'd like to see the official kind of let that one go.
Yeah, Damian Swan called for it. A 40-yard penalty. And 1st and goal now from the 2.
Base. Now, return your turn.
Appleby on the quarterback draw. He's hit hard at the 1. T.J. Barnes on the tackle.
Austin was a high school basketball player coached by another announcer. Quiz for you.
Todd Blackledge
Wow.
was his high school
I didn't have that
basketball coach.
Yeah. That's 6'4". I can see why.
Had the advantage of you. That was some of my homework back when I did the floor.
Yeah, that would stick
I had one. I didn't have it in the notes either. I just remembered it. It's not fair, is it? That's kind of not fair.
Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It's on Chris Martin for the false start. Atlanta, 165 yards of offense tonight, 107 yards in penalties.
That's not good.
No.
It really, and they started out, it looked like they were in control, right? And all of a sudden, the blitz. Defensive coordinator Bobby Sanders started dialing in the blitz. Now remember, the rules are tougher. You can only bring 5, so you have to be very creative of how you blitz. And I think, as predicted, the coaching by the Florida team was the difference here. You know, I mean, they got it going with some good calls on defense, and then their speed on offense took over.
Play clock was about to expire.
Sun and gun action and get ready for the next exciting Apollos game.
You can't stand both of them over.
Thursday night at Topgolf Orlando, 7:30 p.m.
Here's Spurrier to Santos trying to call timeout.
Let's go this play right here. Let's get nifty. Bandit. Tree on right, half back out. We're going to go with the all left play. Hit wide on the post. Wide on the cluster.
So is that a play he had from his days with the Tampa Bay Bandits right there? Kind of wonder.
Calling out Bandits. He was the Tampa Bay Bandits head coach from 83 to 85.
He said, remember, hit the guy on the post. Let's see if he does it. Oh, he got grabbed.
Appleby scrambling. Appleby keeps it himself.
Nice play.
Tags for the pylon, and he's in for the touchdown. There is a flag down. And this one might be coming back. A hold against Orlando.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
So it's on the left tackle, Aaron Evans.
Yeah, they don't like that one here because Evans played in this stadium in college, Central Florida product.
Yep. 3 of the offensive linemen for the Apollos are from Central Florida. There you see the hold right there.
So that pushes the ball back to the 16-yard line. With Appleby in the shotgun. How about this? Pulling out all the stops. Vernell Hall hit hard and down at the 10 after a gain of 6. And Orlando taking a lot of time off the clock here late in the 4th.
You know, one of the parts of this football game now is as a play caller, you're just trying to give different players opportunities to show what they can do in the game. You know, the backup quarterback, different receivers. You're just giving opportunities to be seen on tape. You remember, the goal of the league is not only have competitive football, but let everybody get a look so the NFL scouts can see and perhaps move up to that league and get signed with the NFL at the end of this thing.
On 3rd and goal, Appleby fires right at our camera, and it's caught. That was a great look on the sky cam, caught by Dante Dye, but it's 4th down.
Well defended, keep everything in front of you. Appleby doesn't force it. This one going away from the camera. Got one going right at it, one going away.
And Steve Spurrier will send out his kicker, Elliott Fry. He's 1 out of 1 on field goals today. He was good from 33 yards, and this one is a 24-yard attempt. Ben Turk, the punter, is the holder and flags.
Yeah, 12 men on the field for Atlanta.
Illegal substitution. 12 players on defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
112 yards and penalties for the Legends tonight. Fans want Spurrier to put the offense back out on the field.
He's mellowed. He's going to kick the field goal.
Now a 21-yard attempt. And 40 on the board for the Apollos.
Well, fun and good and 40 points, just like the old days, right?
Just like the old days. Tomorrow, 4 Eastern, opening weekend for the Alliance continues over on CBS Sports Network as the Birmingham Iron battle the Memphis Express on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Ben Holden, Adam Archuleta, John Schriffen will have the call on CBS Sports Network. And Aaron Murray has come into the game at quarterback for the first time tonight, the former Georgia QB. And his first pass is caught for a first down by Justin Thomas. All right, so Aaron Murray threw 121 touchdown passes for the Bulldogs, an SEC record. 5th-round pick by the Chiefs in 2014 and the 2nd overall pick in the inaugural AAF quarterback draft. Month-long competition with Matt Sims for the starting job. And Kevin Coyle told us, look, it was really close. In fact, I think we'll see Murray at some point this year in an important role, and now he's just getting his feet wet.
As I said, I watched Aaron play a lot of football in college. He is a really clutch football player. And he's one of those guys that plays a little better in the games than he does at practice.
That pass is incomplete, intended for Malachi Jones. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Orlando putting the finishing touches on an opening night masterpiece on CBS.
Apollos fans, during tonight's team entrance, the Apollos flag was run onto the field by a special representative of the United States Army. Medical and logistics specialist Daniela Rodriguez Machado of the 68 Juliet. Thank you for your participation. Go Apollos.
Two minutes to go at Spectrum Stadium on the campus of Central Florida with Gary Danielson, Melanie Collins, our producer Jonathan Siegel, director Suzanne Smith, our entire crew. I'm Andrew Catalan. Been a fun opening night as the rain intensifies here with Aaron Murray coming in relief of Matt Sims. A delayed handoff. It's Lawrence Pittman on the carry, and he's got a first down.
So I was really interested coming in this game of what it would look like. Right. You know, and my overall experience right here right now is if there's longevity, if this is long-term, if the investors, the people that are involved in it long-term, this can work. People like football. They like to watch it on Saturday night, Sundays, and it's a good enough brand of football. But they have to trust the league is going to be there 3, 4, 5, 7 years from now.
I agree with you, Gary. I think it's been a really nice start tonight. And I think as we've heard and talked with these coaches, it's going to continue to evolve.
Right. They don't get better football, but they're good enough players. Just remember this. These pickers of these players, the experts of the NFL, they're not infallible. Just think about tonight. Kurt Warner was there with Jamie Erdahl, not drafted. Trent Green, who's doing the other game, you know, 8th-round draft pick, cut by teams both in the NFL and Canada, turned out to be a star. Even Tony Romo, announcing president and contemporary free agent, and the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, picked 199th in the draft. Yep. They make mistakes, and there's a chance with this league, if it goes long-term, the fans will buy in.
Murray fires, and it's picked off. Did he get that cleanly, Marquez White? Now they're saying no, it bounced first. With 23 seconds to go, Marquez White not happy as we take another look.
Did he get it? I think he might have. I don't think that ball hit the ground. Hands underneath it, bounces up. mean, I think Murray thought it was intercepted.
Yeah.
Hey,
you can't challenge.
Challenge up top.
Yeah, he can't challenge. No challenges inside 2 minutes.
No, it's automatic.
Incomplete pass on the previous play is under further review.
Now they're going to go up to the booth.
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, for a guy who's thrown a lot of interceptions, quarterbacks, I knew every time when they intercepted it. You usually know. The guy who throws it can kind of tell. First of all, I don't think the route was in, you got one receiver, Malachi Jones, doing one thing, the quarterback's throwing another, and boy, Andrew, I don't see where that ball hit the ground. Do you see it?
No, I think it's good. I've liked this part of the night, too,
enough to
hearing from
overturn
Terry.
it. That's the question.
Enough
Does he actually catch this ball? He's got hands underneath. He rolls over with possession. I think that pieces them together. He's got to catch. His hands are underneath. He's got his hands underneath. He's got it to his body. His elbows are all up. He's running. They're falling to the ground. Does it hit the ground? H. The ball hits the ground where? I'm on H. Up. Hits the ground. We're going to let it stand. Yes.
After further review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass stands. Third down.
I got to say, though, that's fun to listen to.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know if I agree with it every time, but it's fun to listen to. I think that might be the winning thing of the night.
Yeah, I thought it's been really neat insight and obviously tremendous transparency.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with the call, but at least you hear the thinking behind it. So Murray gets another shot on 3rd and 3. Pressure coming, he gets rid of it, and now he's intercepted. Ball don't lie.
Yeah, ball don't lie. Very good, Andrew.
Bryce Kennedy with the pick. And now all Orlando needs to do is take a knee.
It was like Macaro back in the day when he knew it wasn't, he'd give the guy a point. Like Murray knew it was an interception. 4th turnover of the day, 3rd interception of the day.
Kennedy, a Jacksonville native,
played at very good.
Florida International, and a dominant performance in all 3 phases for Orlando tonight, even on special teams, creating the turnover.
Well, you got to go back to work. One football game, it's not like college ball. You lose a game, you're almost out of it. College ball, you only get, 2 teams from the East make the playoffs. If you're Orlando, you go back to work and say, all right, we got to get better and fast.
And then as the rain comes pouring down, Orlando celebrates an opening night victory, 40-6 over Atlanta.
Thank you for helping the Alliance of American Football.
These 2 teams will meet again week 7 of the Alliance season, March 23rd at Atlanta. And I think 2 stars for Orlando tonight. Garrett Gilbert, the quarterback, and Terrence Garvin on defense played a phenomenal game. The pick 6 as Melanie Collins is with Steve Spurrier.
Thank you, guys. Coach, good to see you can still put 40 points on the board.
I tell you, our defense did about all of it the second half, but we played pretty well. I think we only had to punt a couple times, but our defense really was super the second half.
Yeah, specifically Terrence Garvin, 2 picks, 1 to the house. What kind of spark did he give your team tonight?
Yeah, he'll get a game ball, and we'll probably give Garrett Gilbert 1. This is his first start ever as a pro, so I think he played pretty well.
Coach, thank you. Great to see you again.
Right, thanks, man.
Guys.
And no doubt, the stars of the game, Garvin and Gilbert, all Apollos tonight. Gary, I enjoyed it. A lot of
fun, buddy. Yep, good football game. Football is good when it's played right, and it was played right.
Coming up next, it's your late local news except on the West Coast. So for Gary Danielson and Melanie Collins, our entire crew, this is Andrew Catalan saying so long from Orlando. You've been watching the Alliance of American Football right here on CBS.